All right, guys, welcome to Press X Podcast, episode 70. You may notice things are a little bit different now. You may notice that I have a new camera, and I think it's quite good. So please let me know, chat or in the comments. Once this podcast is done, let me know how you like the camera. I think it's a night and day difference in terms of overall quality compared to my last one. We do the podcast every week. I've been going on camera more, and we have our Blue Box conspiracy streams. So I figured we could up the quality here. And so I also want to use this opportunity to let you guys know that you are the reason why we have better camera quality now. Okay, it's the support that you show on the videos, on the streams, all the super chats, my members, the ad rev, all that stuff. Over time, investing into the channel. Hopefully, we won't have any issues with the stream. You're saying it looks the same? Nah, dude. Nah, you can't troll me this time. I will let you know that this is a brand new camera that I have been messing with for a little bit. So we might need some more adjustments, like in terms of brightness, contrast, and stuff like that. But for right now, I'm really liking it. I think it's a little bit bright because my window's open and it just creates this kind of halo effect a little bit. But anyway, yeah, we have some exciting stuff to talk about. Have a new channel member. I don't know. It won't let me see your name, and that's extremely annoying. So, can chat? Can you guys tell me? I don't know if you can still see it. Who is the new channel member? Because it's literally blocking their name for me. I can't see it. It's so dumb. I have my pinned comment here. Aaron Yogurt. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Thank you, Aaron, for becoming a channel member. Big thanks to all of my channel members. You guys are awesome. As I said, you help support the channel directly. You help me, continue to do what I do here. So really appreciate that. Welcome aboard. We have Sir Speaks a Lot saying, "Oh, so you guys think you're safe, huh? MBG isn't here to save you all from my wrath. I'll nuke the chat, and by the time he comes back, I'm in Mexico." I was there, Sir Speaks a Lot. I caught you. Easy E, you're saying driving from Texas to Florida, listening to MBG. Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much, man. It's awesome to hear. Thank you. Appreciate you tuning in. We see Space Devakin, you're saying looking way better than PlayStation second half. Oh, well, I mean, I'll take that. I'll take the compliment. I appreciate it, buddy. Have I seen the leaked interview? I've seen a lot of you guys mentioning this. I have not. I'm not actually sure what's going on. Hold on. Yeah, you guys are going to have to let me know or inform me like where to look. I guess maybe the Blue Box conspiracy subreddit is maybe where we could look. But is this going to become another Blue Box stream? No, not the entirety of it. It's going to take up a good portion because I don't know how many people like haven't caught on yet what's going on here. But based off of what I'm seeing on the internet, the videos are deleted now. Really? Which ones? But yeah, we're going to talk about Blue Box at some point. The truth is, I think people are very interested in this. Because a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people kind of understand that something really strange and bizarre is going on here. And it will take up a good chunk of this podcast, but there definitely are other things we have to talk about. I mean, it is, a Press X podcast. Like, we have other topics. And so what I'll do now is give you guys a quick rundown of the topics that we're going to discuss. And I'll give a shout out to my members. And then we will get into all of this conversation. But yeah, I will admit it's been difficult not to focus on the blue box thing. I'm seeing more content creators lately talk about it, some more well-known names, and it's a lot of cynicism. There's a lot of cynicism when it comes to this, and I understand that. I understand. Believe me, I get it. But yeah. All right, so guys, do me a favor. Right now, we have 550 people here watching. First of all, thank you. Do me a favor. Please hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, subscribe. If you happen to be watching this after it's done being live, then please hit the like button. Show your support if you can. Thank you so much, Ray RU 46N2 Lopez, for not only becoming a channel member, but becoming a channel member at the highest tier, the Play Has No Limits Plus tier. Thank you so much for going above and beyond, buddy. I really do genuinely appreciate that support. It goes a long way. And yeah, thank you, buddy. Thank you. So yeah, hit that like button. Let me give you a quick rundown. My face might become a little bit brighter because it's because of what I'm bringing up on screen. But before I do that, let me give my members a shout out. So the Play Has No Limits Plus tier. Ray, obviously you're now part of this, but big shout out to Junior Jackson, Samuel Payne, Josh Z, Agile Ice 24, KB, Anthony Ramos, Skin Tight Salmon, and PlayStation Pete. Really appreciate you guys subscribing to that highest tier. Goes a long way for me. And then we have the Play Has No Limits tier, which is also another higher tier that certainly helps. And so a shout out to Avengers Endgame, Space Gambler Jr., iSiler18, Morgan Anstein, Lionson and Pride Lord Escanor, AJ Saeed, Rune Gasodin, JDTV, Alpha Azer, Quantum Stardust, Sir Speaks a Lot, Ashorty Faye, Ryan Butcher, Big Norman 0518, Whiskey Gaming, Shaky Shako, Tyson Webb 509, Black Manta 1989, Sayin JT, Brandon Chadberez, and Adrian Pollard. Thank you guys so much for what you do. So letting you know some of the topics we're going to be talking about. The first topic is going to deal with Horizon Forbidden West and the report coming from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier that it has apparently already been decided by Sony. It's going to be delayed to Q1 2022. So we're not going to spend too much time focusing on the report itself because I do believe it, but we're going to have a conversation about the remainder of the year and what Sony's 2022 looks like. And more importantly, what I want the conversation to focus on is the lineup between now and the end of the year and what Sony plans to do in terms of communication between now and the end of the year, because I feel as though it's not going to go over well when Sony officially confirms that it's delayed. So they're going to have to do something to cushion the blow. And I have a theory as to what I think is going to happen. I'm sure some of you already know. Yo, MBG, you must read the new post on the subreddit. Stay patient. Don't worry. Stay tuned. I will probably pay a visit to the subreddit. I actually have a new setup that I want to test out this upcoming week where I have a new... it's nothing crazy, but like I want to make it a little bit more streamlined. So when we do these streams where we're, visiting these websites, we can just make it, simpler for people to keep up and follow up. And I can, you guys will see what I mean. Don't worry. You'll see what I mean. But we will pay a visit to that a little bit later on. And the second topic we're going to be talking about is Blue Box Studios, the abandoned app. It's now out. It's being updated. Some crazy stuff is going on, and it's going on right under people's noses, and they do not see what's happening. So I'm here to let everybody know what's happening, or at least, try to figure it out with you guys. So we'll definitely spend a lot of time talking about that. After that, we're going to talk about the PlayStation 5 update and how it is finally unlocking the M.2 drive for the SSD and whatnot. And there's definitely a lot of conversation going on about that. So we'll discuss that. And then if we have time at the end, I don't know how interested you guys are going to be in talking about this, but, Sony officially announced that they sold 10 million units. it's really strange because I feel like just even a year and a half ago, people loved talking about sales numbers and like people loved celebrating the PS4 and its milestones, and like the PS5 is doing even better. And I feel like it's maybe because people are still having a hard time finding these consoles, but they're like just not as they're just not as like excited to hear like, oh, the PS5 is breaking records. Whatever. You know, I don't know if it's because it's like expected or whatever, but the post I'm referring to is the truth about 204863. Make sure to check it out. All right. Why am I looking so fit? I've actually started a new workout routine. I'm glad you noticed. Glad you noticed. Josh Z, you're saying people complaining about lack of new games. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to finish old ones like HOZ and The Last of Us 2. I could care less about delays. So yeah, you know, I gotta say, talking about this, you know, diving into the first topic, and Space Tavak, and you're saying God of War 5 delayed to 2023. Write it down. Dude, I'm just going to say this. The only way I would be okay with God of War being delayed to 2023, this is the only way, is if Sony also announces it's going to be next gen only and we're actually using that extra time to do some different... It's not going to happen. I highly doubt God of War would be delayed to 2023. If it was, I mean, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. But if they're like, hey, we're making it PS5 only, I'd be like, well, I mean, damn, that's a long wait, but I've been wanting those PS5 only exclusives. So, but thank you guys for those super chats. So you're saying, nope, the engine is already made. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, you have to imagine that it's just not that simple, right? What I think and what I believe is, you know, just talking about this for a second, a lot of people expected God of War to be PS5 only. And the truth is, I could be wrong about this. This is just pure speculation. I think Sony wanted to make God of War PS5 only. And you know why? Because they know how big of a system seller it is. But I think once Sony realized, and what I mean by making it PS5 only is that I think that, you know, God of War, the engine it's on right now, it could run on PS4 no matter what. We know that now officially. Sony's like, hey, it's releasing on PS4. We know that. But I think that in reality, Sony would have wanted it to be a PS5 only title so they could be like, hey, you want God of War, go buy a PS5. But look at what's happening. You know, look at what's happening. I think Sony wanted to wait to announce that, whether it was going to be cross-gen or not, because they wanted to see how bad this shortage and the supply constraint was going to be. And if you look around and you do your research, you'll see that the supply constraint is going to be a thing until 2023. So, never was going to be PS5 only. I mean, that's definitely a possibility as well. That's definitely a possibility as well. But I'll tell you this. Why do you think Sony was okay to announce that GT7 was going to be PS5 only, and they never mentioned whether or not God of War was going to be cross-gen? They were confident to say GT7 is going to be PS5 only, to then have to reverse course and say, actually, it's going to be PS4 as well. But they specifically never mentioned anything about God of War. I think it's because the decision wasn't made until kind of like the last minute, where it's like, look, this game can run on the PS4 no matter what. It can run on the PS, it can work on the PS4. Do we want to make this game PS5 only to move units? The answer is no, because it's not going to move units, because we're limited in the amount. We don't need God of War to move units. We just need more units. You know, the units will move themselves. We just need more. So that's my theory. I could be wrong. And I don't think it matters, honestly. I don't think it matters. You know, I think that at this point, it's clear that Sony is going to have no choice but to support the PS4 all throughout 2022 in a significant way. Every game they're releasing, not every game, but I think a lot of the games they're releasing, you know, they're going to be cross-gen. That's just the way it's going to have to be. It's not what we were, you know, it's not what we were hoping for, but, you know, things have just kind of taken some weird turns and twists and turns. Atomic Smoke, you're saying, why does 2022 sound like a good number? LOL. I don't know. I don't know. Black Manta 1989, you're saying, if Horizon 2 is hopefully first quarter 2022, can we legitimately discuss the 5 to 6 month wait for our next first party AAA experience? Patience indeed. Yeah, so that's a big part of the conversation we're going to be having is if it's true that Horizon Forbidden West, and I think it's true, guys, it's coming from Jason Schreier, and he straight up answered somebody who was like, are you kind of like guessing? Do you think it's going to get delayed? He's like, no, I'm telling you, it's been delayed. And I believe him because Jason Schreier is one of the, I mean, whether you like him or not, he's one of the most credible individuals within the industry. And he would not, in my opinion, I don't think it would be likely for him to say something so definitively if he wasn't 100% sure. It wouldn't surprise me if he basically heard this directly from a Sony Santa Monica dev or something like that, you know? And so, you know, I saw that Jeff Grubb was reporting on it, and I didn't want to talk about it, and I wasn't going to because when it comes to Jeff Grubb, it's like, he's an Xbox dude, like mostly, you know, he's an Xbox dude. That's mostly what he's known for reporting on. And he's been correct about some Xbox stuff, other stuff he's wrong about. And so it's just like, I've been trying to do a better job in only talking about insiders or people who would have inside information who genuinely have like a lot of credibility. And in my opinion, Jason Schreier falls under that category where like, I don't think Jason Schreier's been wrong about a lot of things at all. You know, like he seems like the type where he's not going to say something unless he knows for sure. I don't want to give him too much credit, but I believe it. I believe that Sony is going to announce a Horizon delay. And the truth is, I don't think it was that hard to see as well. You know, like I feel like anybody could have come out and said, oh, Horizon's going to get delayed to 2022, and you have a 50% chance of being correct. Because listen to the way Sony's been talking about it. The way Sony's been talking about it is, well, we're trying. We're hoping we can get it, you know, out by holiday, and we're trying to lock that date in, and we'll have to update you when we know for sure whether or not we can. So, Space Devocan, you're saying it's really from Grubb. Jason just confirmed it. Yeah, but from my understanding, Jeff Grubb pretty much confirmed that this is what he was hearing, but he kind of came off as like he's not 100% sure. Jeff Grubb also said there's going to be some type of state of play or an event in September. I want to believe that, but I don't know. You know, I don't know if that's something he's like 100% sure of like saying like, yep. You know, the difference is that Jeff Grubb kind of came off as like, maybe. This is what I'm hearing, and I think it's likely. To whereas Jason's like, no, I know. Like, this is what's happening. So that's why I'm saying, like, it was nice to get confirmation from Jason because I kind of did believe Jeff Grubb a little bit. I'm like, well, you know, if this was something that happened, I could see people starting to hear about it, people who are, you know, have any kind of industry contacts. But once Jason came out, I'm like, yeah, okay, this is pretty much a done deal. I would be shocked. I mean, could you imagine if Sony didn't delay it? Like, both of their reputations would be up in flames, or their credibility would be gone if it didn't get delayed. So that's why I'm confident that what they're saying is true, specifically Jason. Saying Jason got a lot wrong about the Switch Pro. You know what's weird is like with these credible industry insiders, it seems like everybody got it wrong about the Switch Pro. I almost feel like Nintendo did some kind of like switcheroo or something, or they purposely, I don't know, they wanted to ruin the credibility of anybody who maybe knew. Because I do think a Switch Pro still is coming. I don't even follow it that closely, but it just makes sense. Why wouldn't it? Like, why wouldn't we get a Switch Pro? You know what I mean? Hassan admitting he is in talks with Konami. Of course he is. Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be? Come on now. Ray, again, you're saying, how long till you think Sony sunsets the PS4? I don't think Sony's going to sunset the PS4 until sometime in 2023. Unless something changes between now and then, considering they're going to release. So, like, look, if Horizon Forbidden West is coming out Q1 2022, that means it's going to release maybe February. I mean, it could be January, February, or March. I think February would make sense. When's God of War coming? Could God of War come in April? It could, but I feel like God of War, they kind of want, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We've seen Sony do some crazy stuff before, like, hey, we're going to release The Last of Us Part 2 in June, and then in July, we're going to release Ghost of Tsushima. And you would think, like, that's way too close. What are you doing? And they both were huge success stories, you know what I mean? In sales-wise. So clearly, you know, they don't care about when they're going to release it. So if Horizon comes Q1 2022, then God of War could come right after that, or it could come holiday 2022. We don't know, you know. It could come summer 2022. But as for, you know, I guess to answer your question, Ray, the thing is, if they're going to be releasing both of these heavy hitter titles on the PS4, I don't think they're going to sunset it anytime soon. I think the PS4 still has another year and a half, 2 years left in it to where, you know, Sony's going to continue to support it heavily. Siler, you're saying, like I said last week, I think there are so many games out compared to last gen around the same time. Completely fine with the delay. Last Horizon launched on a February, seems fitting for the new one. I agree. Obviously, this spurs the conversation of like, well, does Microsoft have a stronger holiday lineup or second half lineup than Sony does? And we're going to get into that in a moment here, and we're going to talk about that. That's something we have to bring up. We have to talk about Sony's lineup. And I won't lie, like, November and December for Sony, it's not looking good. It's not looking good because as far as I'm aware, and chat, somebody, let me know if I'm wrong about this. As far as I'm aware, I don't think Sony has anything lined up for the months of November or December. So a lot of their stuff, I think, is coming between now and October. And even in October, I mean, Deathloop comes before that. What's releasing for Sony in October? I feel like I have to look at a list here because I've lost track a little bit. But as far as I'm aware, so this is where the conversation gets interesting. Before I get to these other super chats, I'm seeing somebody saying they don't need to have anything. All right, this is where we have to separate the conversation between Sony's need for something, like their financial and business branding need for something, versus our we are gamers desire for something. We have to separate the two. Okay. Kenna's going to be a big one. I think Kenna's going to carry some weight this holiday season for Sony. Sony should get behind Kenna right now in a much bigger way if they can, because I think that it could be a big game for them. Okay, Kapapa, you're saying Ghost of Tsushima Ikki came as a surprise, and some say it is 20 hours, which is more than Gears 5 was. Maybe Sony has something else in the sleeve. So yeah, here's the thing about Ghost of Tsushima and the Ikki Island expansion. From everything I've been reading and covering about the length, the scope, and the size of this easily could have been a standalone Miles Morales / Uncharted Lost Legacy situation. And it's interesting to me that they chose not to do that. Instead, they wanted to kind of bundle it with Ghost of Tsushima. It does make sense, but it's like, I don't know, man. I almost feel like it would have been better for Sony to kind of have it be standalone for like even $30. You know, $30 I think would be fine. You know, give it its own release. I feel like, again, if everything Sucker Punch is saying about it is true, like it's the size of the first act of Ghost of Tsushima, like the first act was the biggest, that was the longest act in the entire game. Like that's huge. That's a ton of content. So it's definitely a big surprise. Primal Plasma, you're saying, I truly did not see the Horizon Forbidden West delay coming, but it is okay with me because I still don't own a PS5 yet. There needs to be more PS5 adoption. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be some people who are caught off guard by it. And I think the reason being is Sony had a dedicated state of play back in May for Horizon Forbidden West. And it's strange that they would do that not knowing, but it's, you know, you would think that if they were confident enough to do that, they would have, they would have probably, I don't know. I mean, you've never seen Sony do something like this. You've never seen Sony be like, here's a 15-minute gameplay demonstration for a AAA exclusive we have coming, and it's actually not coming till next year. Like, Sony has not done that with a state of play, is what I'm saying. So to me, I think the delay is coming as a surprise to Sony as well, where they didn't want to and they weren't planning to. But hold on a second, guys. Trying to open my curtain here a little bit because I think it's getting a bit dark. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Trying to check to see if that it was getting a little bit dark. Clouds are rolling in. Does it look better now? I think it's good now. A little bit of better lighting going on. So yeah, I mean, there does need to be more PS5 adoption. I don't know when it's really going to start to accelerate. I hope it does in 2022 because I fear that if Sony can't really start to rapidly sell PS5s in 2022, they may go crazy and be like, we're supporting the PS4 into 2023. And I'll be like, you can't do that, you know? Like, there has to be a cutoff at some point. I'm sure Sony knows that. Chris B, you're saying, what's going on with GTA 5 and The Last of Us 2 multiplayer? That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, there are games that we need updates on. Like, there's stuff we know that Sony needs to talk about to some extent with their partners and with their own content. And, like, we haven't heard anything. And that's because I think something big is around the corner. I do think something big is around the corner. Now, I don't want you to think that. Don't get your hopes up too high. Don't want to be disappointed, but I think something's happening. At least I hope so. iSiler18, again, you're saying release The Last of Us multiplayer for November. That would be fascinating if Sony was like, yeah, it would be fascinating and it would be crazy, but I just don't think it's a thing. I don't think Naughty Dog's multiplayer game is ready yet at all. I mean, Sony is not one to show a game off in like August and then release it in November or December. That's just not enough time. That's especially a game from Naughty Dog. I don't think that's happening. Sony has nothing for the holiday. Yeah, that's the concern. Dude, that's something is not right here. I mean, you could say that maybe Sony is fine with the way things are because they just figure, well, there's a ton of, I mean, let's be honest right now. There are a ton of AAA third-party titles releasing during the holiday season. That's how it is every year. But Sony might be comfortable this year saying, well, you know, considering we're having a hard time selling enough PS5s, maybe we'll just kind of coast this holiday. But here's my thing. Okay, here's my thing. I do not believe Sony could get away with doing that without doing something big between now and then. And that's something, I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying right now. That big something doesn't have to come in the form of a game release, okay? That big something can very much come in the form of some new announcements, some new trailers, and just overall general excitement. I want you to think about how Microsoft harnessed the hype. This is where Sony can learn something from Microsoft, although I'm sure Sony is already well aware of this tactic. Why is it that, you know, not counting Flight Simulator, up until this point, Microsoft has had pretty much nothing. They've had pretty much nothing, okay, for like years. But the past year specifically, Microsoft somehow managed to garner a ton of excitement and hype, even though they really didn't have anything coming. And people still had to wait. Their holiday season is looking pretty good. It's because they had announcements to make. They had big stuff to announce. And even though it's not stuff you're getting right now, dropping right into your lap, these were the announcements that carried them up until this point, and it carried the hype for them. And it kept all eyes on Microsoft to an extent, and people focused on it. This is where I think between now and whenever Horizon releases, Sony has to have some big stuff to talk about. They have to. Even if it's stuff that's a little while away, in my opinion, if you really don't have anything lined up for this holiday, Sony, because your big holiday title had to get delayed, because let's be honest right now. Let's be honest, guys. Deathloop isn't going to cut it. Absolutely not. Deathloop is fine. I'll probably play it. It looks like it's going to be a good time, but that's not the AAA Sony holiday exclusive, okay? And Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, it's going to be it looks amazing, dude. But even that, we can't put we can't place all our bets on that. It's going to be great. Maybe those two combined, you could say, oh, that's not too bad, and it's not. But come on. By the way, guys, we have almost 1,000 people here watching. Please do me a big favor. Hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to 400 likes. I would really appreciate that. Let me see. Kevin Phillips, you're saying good analysis and commentary. Well, thank you so much for that, man. And thank you for the super chat. Rory Grimshaw, you're saying not worried about the Horizon Forbidden West delay as holiday is packed. Kenna got Icky, Guardians of the Galaxy, Next Gen Witcher 3, Battlefield 2042, Next Gen GTA 5, tons to play. Well, I do agree. There is a ton to play. There's not going to be there's no shortage of games to play. But for me, the concern, it's not even a concern, but like as a player, man, it's really getting dark in here. I feel like storm. I guess I should just preface this by saying if a big storm is rolling in, if the stream just disconnects or whatever, it's because I lost power. It doesn't happen that often, but I guess I'm just going to give everybody forewarning. I'm hoping that's not what's going to happen. But yeah, it's just going to be a little bit dark right now. But yeah, there's no shortage of games to play. Definitely not. But I just feel that Sony is going to need to show us something. I really do. Mainly because, I want to see something. As excited as I am for these games, we've known about all of these games for almost a year now. And that's fine. It's nice to finally get to that point where they're releasing. But Sony has had no new game announcements. And that's the weird thing to me. Is there's no conceivable way. Like I would be in disbelief. Not disbelief, but I would be shocked if Sony was like, we're going to save our announcements for next year. I only say that because it's like, I know that you can't produce enough PS5s, but you have to assume that at least a handful of the games that Sony currently has in development that we don't know about, at least a handful of them are not targeting 2022. And I think it would be okay for Sony to at least tease some of those games, right? Some of them, not all of them. I mean, as I said last week, Herman Hulst confirmed himself over 25 games in development, half of which are new IP. You gotta, they're gonna have to announce some of them, right? You don't have to announce all 25. Fred Vance, you're saying Sony is holding all information on lockdown. Apparently, they are in constant business meetings with different third-party developers. Yeah, so that's what I've been hearing as well. I've been hearing that Sony they're looking to throw some money around. They want to continue to throw some money around. So, we're going to have to, as awesome as I think that is, the real question is, well, we don't know anything about that. And what does that mean for us? When are we going to know about that? When are we going to hear about it? I will admit, Sony is on information lockdown. Dude, nothing is coming out. Jeff Grubb legit seemed afraid. He seemed scared to even talk about anything regarding the September state of play or the Horizon delay or whatever. And I don't blame him because it's like Sony is not, they are not letting things slip through the cracks anymore. By the way, got, Rant Juice mug. If you want to help support the channel in some other ways, you should see my merch line below. Get yourself a mug. Oh God. You see, Marmaduke McDonald. You're saying, hi MBG, I'm okay with delays as I have such a backlog to play. Which would you recommend first, God of War or Horizon Zero Dawn? Thanks for all you do. Honestly, I would recommend Horizon Zero Dawn and then God of War because, well, I don't know. God of War is a more linear experience, so it'll definitely be easier for you to just kind of tackle the story and get through. Compared to Horizon, it's an open world. There's a lot of exploring to be done. But the reason why I would recommend Horizon first is because I think God of War is better than Horizon, and I feel like you kind of want to save the best for last. And so start with Horizon. Horizon's amazing too. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna have a great time with that. You should anyway, as long as you have an idea of what you're getting into. But I would play God of War last because I feel like it's just save the best for last, dude. AWS Asher, you're saying, are you in the slight risk area for some weather? If so, be safe and film a few lightning strikes. I do think we might get a big game for the holiday, though. That's a good question. I'll check right now to see if there's any. No, there's no warnings or anything. Just some scattered thunderstorms and whatnot. So it should be fine. I just wasn't prepared with my lighting, as you can tell. It was very bright in here earlier, and I just went with my natural lighting with the windows, and now it's very dark. So, but the new camera I bought is specifically meant for like bad lighting and dark areas. So hopefully it doesn't look too bad. But you say you do think we might get a big game for the holiday. I don't know. I don't know what that big game could be. Aaron Yogurt, you're saying don't forget Miles Morales was announced in August. It was actually announced in June. So, we do have to but here's the thing though, is that I get what you're saying. You're basically saying that Sony will announce something that's ready to go for the holiday, just essentially a couple months before, we get to that point. I almost feel that Sony was trying to have an event ready for June or early July, and I think something happened. And I think that the event, I don't know if it's an event. It's hard to say at this point. Is it going to be a full-blown event? It's anybody's guess. But if they were planning something, I think now it's safe to say if they're going to do something, it's going to have to be this month, like within the next week or two. Because if we go past the second week of August and Sony doesn't have an event of any kind, at that point, the only thing I would expect is a PlayStation experience in December, which would be great. But that's at the end of the year. So yeah, I don't know, man. Primal Plasma, you're saying, I think these big companies have economic forecast experts. They may be holding off on releasing Horizon Forbidden West this year because they know people might be broke. That's definitely a plausible theory. It's hard to say. I mean, you would assume that Sony, given the position they're in, like forecast experts aside, you would assume that Sony, it would be in their best interest if this game was ready to go this holiday to release it this holiday. I say this because it is releasing on PS4. What I think may have happened, here's another theory. Let's just say, because if you think about it, a lot of what Guerrilla Games and Sony has been saying about Horizon Forbidden West, even though they've been like, well, we're still trying to lock the date in, everything they've said is they've really kind of said like, yeah, it's coming this year. Everything's coming along. It's coming this year. We did all we had to do. And so the delay does come as a bit of a surprise to some people who've been following this. I think Sony is looking at the attach rates to specifically Spider-Man Miles Morales. Okay? And they're seeing, like, I don't know if we have the data specifically, but I think they're seeing that the bulk of their sales for that, even though the PS4 install base is so much bigger than the PS5's, the bulk of their sales are coming from PS5. As in, people are waiting until they can get the PS5 to buy this game, even though it's cross-gen. And I'm starting to think that maybe Sony feels a little bit less confident about games being cross-gen. Like, yeah, logically speaking, if it's available on PS4, then people will go buy it on PS4. Not necessarily. That could be wrong. A lot of people may end up being like, hey, I'm just going to wait. I got to wait for the console, and I want to play this game on the PS5. Everything we're seeing when it comes to the next-gen consoles and the audience, the player base, customers, consumers, they're ready for next-gen experiences. The consumer is ready to embrace next-gen in not just the hardware, but the gaming experiences as well. But unfortunately, that's out of not only Sony's hands, that's out of the consumer's hands as well. That's in just the hands of the market and supply and demand and everything that's happening right now. And so I don't know, man. Sony might lose either way, like in the short term. What I mean by that is if they do release Horizon, maybe it's not going to hit the sales numbers that they were hoping for or anticipating, because maybe people are just going to wait. They're just going to wait it out and be like, I'm going to wait till I can go to the store, buy a PS5, and pick up my PS5 copy of Horizon Forbidden West. And there could be millions and millions and millions of PS4 owners who would buy the game if they could get a PS5, and they're just going to wait. I don't know. It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. But what we do know is that it's very likely at this point that Sony's going to be announcing a Horizon Forbidden West delay. And I do want to say, for people wondering why Sony hasn't announced it yet, if this is true, if what Jason Schreier is reporting is true, I think this is because, I'm sorry, I read a, this is the downfall of having a chat right in front of you, dude. I just read something and it just completely destroyed my thought process. Sorry. Hold on. Let me gather myself here. Okay. I'm pretty sure that Sony is not announcing the Horizon Forbidden West delay right now because they want to wait until they show it again. If they're going to have an event, if they are going to do an event in August, on August 12th, like a lot of people are thinking, if that's the case, then you better believe they're going to show off more Horizon alongside their other announcements, and then they're just going to kind of be like, yeah, by the way, it's 2022. It's 2022. And no, everybody's going to be like, people will spend like a split second being like, oh man, that sucks. But then they're going to see the announcements of Metal Gear Solid, of Silent Hill, God of War, The Last of Us multiplayer, Guerrilla Games' second game, right? And all this new stuff. And they're going to be like, I don't care, you know? Like... But that's it right there, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Sony has that, like, that's the question we have to ask ourselves. We don't have to ask the question, is Horizon going to get delayed? Because it is. Like, come on, it's going to get delayed. We don't have to ask the question, well, does that make Sony's 2021 lineup weaker? Because the answer to that question is yes, it makes it significantly weaker. Let's not sugarcoat this. All right. But the real question we have to ask is this: what is Sony going to do for PlayStation fans? Because not every PlayStation fan is excited for Deathloop, in case you couldn't tell. A lot of PlayStation fans are excited for Kenna. A lot of PlayStation fans are excited for Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut and Death Stranding Director's Cut. But I'm gonna be brutal right now. I'm gonna be honest. Not that I'm not honest, prior to this, but I just feel like I have to say that. I don't count director's cuts. I do not count director's cuts as what you would like, oh, well, here's the list for Sony's lineup. I feel like you can only count them if you haven't played them before. Death Stranding, I'm not counting it. Ghost of Tsushima's expansion, I'm counting, but not Ghost of Tsushima itself. And I feel like that's only fair. Like, if you make your own list and you do want to count director's cuts, I think that's fine. But I think you have to understand that a lot of people don't look at that and get that excited. A lot of people do, but others don't. So it's kind of like a 50-50 thing here. For me, yeah, I'm going to play these director's cuts, but I'm not that excited for Deathloop. It looks okay. Looks pretty good, I guess. Ken, I'm excited for, but outside of that, like, I know we have like Solar Ash and stuff. I'm not super excited for that. Stray isn't coming till next year. The question is, Sony, what are you going to do between now and 2022 for the PlayStation fan base that has been patiently waiting for some new game announcements? That's the question we have to ask. And I do believe Sony is going to answer that question. And like I said, that answer may not come in the form of, here's a AAA, we're dropping from the sky this November a AAA PlayStation exclusive. No. The answer is going to come in the form of exciting reveals and announcements that will make people forget all about the Horizon delay. Or not focus on it anyway. We have Space Devakin. You're saying, I was expecting that Sony would struggle with volume this gen. They came out strong out of the gate to make a good impression, but now they're dry. I do feel Sony was front-loaded. I do. And I think the reason why Sony was front-loaded was because I don't think were anticipating the supply constraint to be this severe. I think Sony had a very good idea. Like, they're like, yeah, this could get worse. But I think the thing that was so important for Sony was to get people excited for their next-gen console and go out there and buy it. And now it seems like Sony has effectively created such a high demand that it's like, oh man, what are you going to do? And you could say, here's the thing. I think Horizon, let's not sugarcoat it. Horizon makes or breaks the second half of 2021. It makes or breaks it, and it's being delayed, or it's going to get delayed reportedly, and now the second half of 2021 is broken. And I'm not sitting here saying that I'm so upset and I'm angry, and I'm not, because there's still plenty to play. I know that there's going to be the fanboys. They want to come in and they want to be like, how's that feel, MBG? Your holiday 2021 sucks. Over here on Xbox, I got Flight Simulator. I got Horizon 5. I got Halo Infinite. I hate to break it to you, I don't give a shit about Flight Simulator or Halo. Halo is going to be huge for Microsoft, but for me personally, I do not care. I do not care. Horizon 5 looks really good, though. Horizon 5 looks really damn good. And so putting the Xbox stuff aside, because I don't care. Like, I'm not focused on Xbox and their lineup. You can sit there yelling at me all day, like, they have a better lineup and this and that. Like, I'm not listening. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm focused on my own thing here. Okay, I'm focused on the things I care about. What I care about is Sony's lineup, and Sony's lineup is broken to an extent by the Horizon delay. Because if we got confirmation right now from Sony, and they said, hey, Horizon's dropping November, whatever. November. They give us a date. Like November, I don't know. What's a Thursday in November? November 12th? I'm just guessing. Right? Suddenly, we don't need to have this conversation about, well, what's the second half of 2021 look like? We already know. Because you're saying it's nothing but a Bloomberg rumor? Yeah, you can't look at it like that, dude. It could be wrong, and we do need to get official confirmation, but come on, man. Like, I'm not... I feel more... I trust that what Jason's saying is true. But if we were to find out that, hey, Horizon's releasing November 12th, 2021, I think there was a little bit of lag there for a moment. Uh-oh. They trying to silence me again? Is that happening? Okay. That was just on my end. I apologize. I'm all nervous after I'm nervous after the last stream we did. Okay, if they were to announce that today, we don't have this conversation about, well, is Sony's second half of 2021 strong? Because yes, Horizon makes the second half. Frankly, you could just release Horizon and it's like a tidal wave, man. It's like a tsunami. These big AAA exclusives from Sony, like as big as Horizon, it's a tsunami. Like it takes up the entirety of the second half of 2021. There's no conversation to be had. Because I will take Halo, take Horizon 5, and please God, take Flight Simulator. I just want Horizon. Okay, I would trade all three of those games in a heartbeat for just Horizon. Not that we have to choose, but I'm just saying, if you want to make comparisons. You guys, I see you guys are like, talk about Blue Box. Talk about Blue Box. All right, we're going to get there. I do have to close out this topic before we do that, though. Do have to close out this topic. All right, so... Oh, yeah, sorry, I have some super chats. My bad. Kevin Reeves, you're saying, I think we're underestimating QA. Remote devs take so much longer than in-house. That's true. Yeah, I mean, dude, look, if they're delaying it, I'm 99% sure the reason why Sony is delaying Horizon, if they do, is because it's just not 100% ready. And I don't think Horizon is a game that Sony takes a chance on. I don't think so. Sony, keep in mind, Sony literally wouldn't let CD Projekt Red sell Cyberpunk on their store. They're not going to risk releasing. They're not going to risk releasing an unfinished game. Space Devokin, you're saying, did Sony break down Miles Morales numbers? I don't know. I don't know if they did. I couldn't find that information anywhere, but I may have missed it. But I'm almost certain that it. I'm pretty certain that it sold more on the PS5 than PS4. Victor, you're saying, hey man, check your Twitter when you can. I sent you juicy stuff about Hassan and Konami and Silent Hill in an audio convo in an interview. Okay, all right, buddy. I will. Brooklyn Breed, you're saying, what happened to not predicting Sony? You know what happened? I realized that I can't not predict Sony. I can't do it. I have to. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying you have to listen to me, but I have to sit here and I have to speculate. I have to try to map out what they're going to do next because it's part of the fun. It's part of the fun, man. When I'm not playing games on my PS5, I'm thinking about games. I'm thinking about what Sony's doing. Thank you so much. Ivanol C is what I will call you. Hopefully I said your name correctly. Welcome to the channel, buddy. Thank you for becoming a member, choosing to become a member in the Play Has No Limits tier. So thank you. It does go a long way, man. And thank you guys for the super chats, by the way. You guys are awesome. I really do appreciate the direct support that you show me. So to wrap this topic up before we move on to everybody's favorite topic about Blue Box and Hassan and Konami and Kojima and Sony and everything that's going on, I want to just say that I am okay with Sony delaying Horizon Forbidden West because I know that if they're delaying it, it's because they have to. I would much rather them take the time they need to make the game as amazing and as polished and as great as I know it can be and as they know it can be. I'd much rather see that than them risk putting it out when it's just not ready. Is it disappointing? Yes. I wanted to play Horizon Forbidden West at the end of this year. It would have been a great way to end the first full year, I guess you could say, of the PlayStation 5 being out. But Sony has done a great job up until this point, delivering content and games consistently. And even though they have a much weaker second half of this year, if Horizon does get delayed, we're still getting content. And for that, I am grateful because I do know what it's like to not get any content or barely anything at all. Just basically getting scraps, and it sucks. And even with a weak second half of 2021, Sony's not doing that. Deathloop might not be your cup of tea. Cannon Bridge of Spirits might not be your cup of tea. Some director's cuts might not be your cup of tea, but it's still content nonetheless. So, yeah, we will have to see. Also, one last thing I totally failed to mention throughout this entire conversation. Holy crap. Can we talk just for a moment about how stellar Sony's 2022 lineup is going to be? I mean, Horizon and God of War, if they both release that year, you got two Game of the Years. Like, it's not fair. They shouldn't have to compete with one another. It's going to be crazy. Lewis, you're saying, I feel the PS5 should not, I guess you're trying to say, have come out this year because everything is getting delayed and we waited so long for the SSD and its beta expensive one. Yeah, I mean, look, I know what you're saying, man. The idea that Sony should have delayed the release of the PS5, I don't bother even entertaining that notion because it doesn't matter. Like, it's here, it's out, it's not going anywhere, and that's that. And I still appreciate having the console, having the experiences like Ratchet and Clank and Returnal, and getting the benefit of games looking and performing much better, even if they are cross-gen. Brooklyn Breed, you're saying, if Abandoned is Metal Gear Solid, will you stream it? Dude, you don't even have to ask that question. I did a test stream the other day. I don't know how many of you guys missed this, but I tested to see if I could stream directly from the app. And as far as I know, you can't stream apps directly from your PS5. You can only stream game applications. And Abandoned is listed as a game application, and I found out you can stream directly from it. So you're damn right I'm going to be streaming from that app, dude. I'm just waiting for something to happen. Sewell, you're saying Lost Soul Aside 2022. Yes. Okay. So thank you so much for that. Here we go. We're diving in now, guys. But before we do it, I got to ask you, I'm not going to talk about Blue Box unless we get 500 likes, people. All right. I'm not going to do it unless we get 500 likes. So you better make 500 likes happen, or I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to sit here and drink from my rant juice mug, which you can go purchase if you want. I'm kidding, of course. Please hit the like button, but I'm kidding. We're going to talk about it either way. All right. The reason why I ask for likes, by the way, I know people think it's like begging. I'm not begging for anything. It's just, it helps. If it didn't help and it really didn't matter, I literally wouldn't ask. I wouldn't. I don't like asking because it gets annoying, but sometimes you have to. All right. Let me read my little write-up here. So, what is going on with Blue Box Game Studios and the abandoned real-time experience app? The app is real and has been made available for everyone to download, except in Japan. Japan will, for some reason, be able to download it, specifically on August 10th. No explanation was given. There are seemingly, or Blue Box, I should say, is seemingly teasing both Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid, and it's making people even more confused. There are still a lot of people who feel frustrated and believe this is an indie dev who is trying to mess with us. Someone asked the question, if this is all really a marketing stunt and some kind of intense next level ARG, then what purpose is it serving? And in my opinion, the answer to that question is painfully obvious. If this does turn out to be Silent Hill, Metal Gear Solid, or even both, this will never be forgotten. This will be remembered for years to come, and people will look back on this as possibly their greatest marketing stunt in video game history and the greatest reveal in video game history, potentially. So, that's my little write-up. And so a lot of you guys are saying I need to go check some, there's some stuff happening that I'm missing out on, apparently. You're saying if this is an ARG, it's a pretty weak one? You think so? I think in terms of, I could be wrong, but when it comes to AAA video games, I don't think we've ever seen I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think we've ever seen something to this extent. All right, so you're saying go check my Twitter. All right, I'm not going to bring my Twitter up on screen, but I will go check it. Colin, you're saying Abandoned is supposed to come out the end of this year. What if Sony is so confident with it that it's the big holiday release? Oh, dude, that would be. I mean, I don't know. They said Q4 2021. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go check my Twitter though. A lot of you guys are asking me to do that. Let me see what you guys sent me because yeah, I don't know how many of you checked out my stream. Actually, I should do this on my phone. If there's any audio. I don't know how many of you guys checked out my last stream where we talked about Blue Box, about the Metal Gear. That stream went really, really well, and I had a great time doing it. But some stuff has happened since then. Even like, you know, people are like, dude, stream every day. I'm like, I don't know if I could do it every day. Somebody says here, this image wasn't the first time, the latest image that was shown wasn't the first time that Blue Box Game Studios referenced Metal Gear Solid back on June 21st. June 21st, somebody said, hi, my name is Kojima. I got hit in the head and I forgot my main account's login. And also, if I'm working on Silent Hill, can you let me know if I'm involved with this to prove it's me? I'll sign this tweet. Kojima. Blue Box says, try. Otacon, do you read me? Like, okay. MBG, you have to check this theory out. It's insane. Please mention it in your stream. So everybody wants me to go check out this Reddit theory. Let's go. I'll go check it out. I'll go check it out real quick. I don't think I've seen it yet. Blue Box Conspiracy Reddit. I have to find it. The truth of 204863 and Hassan Karaman, never seen before image that has proof that this is indeed Kojima behind this. Hey guys, I need you to actually read this very attentively and listen closely to what I'm going to explain. We've always wondered what the 204863 actually is. 204863 is the genome code of the plant populace Tricarpa PT. It's the first tree to be genetically sequenced. You can check it here. Guess where PT grows? Toluca Lake. Toluca Lake is one of the most famous Silent Hill touristic destinations. Every Silent Hill fan knows this. The real Toluca Lake is in LA, which is in California, which is where Populus Trichocarpa, I don't know how to say this word, grows. Look where PT is written on the image. PTV was a drug in the original Silent Hill, which was derived from an indigenous plant called White Claudia. White Claudia was known to grow around water, Toluca Lake, and was sold by the cult to tourists. Lisa Garland, a nurse, was a heavy user of PTV and was even heard to give favors for her fix. In the Tokyo Game Show 2014 for PT Showcase, the poster made by Kojima on stage was this. And so I'll click okay, I'm looking at this poster. Very interesting. Okay. And this is where Hassan is hinting at PT in a never seen before image. Look at the plant. Huh. I don't know. Captain QA, you're saying loving the streams. If you need a mod, I am here. Well, thank you so much for that. I will keep that in mind. Am I missing something here? I feel like I'm missing something with this theory. Put it on the screen. Okay, I'm not going to put it on the screen yet. Okay, the reason being is because I didn't want to. I actually was going to do in my opinion, what would be a very fun stream this upcoming Wednesday or sometime this week, where it is going to be on screen, and we're going to dive deep into the Reddit, the Blue Box Conspiracy Reddit. You're saying you sent me something. Check my Twitter. I'll check it now, man. ABG, check this out.
I don't think they have big plans with Silent Hill. Maybe that's the reason why they try to give us the IP usage. But we'll have to see because, as I mentioned, we're a small studio. So it depends on what they're asking, so yeah, we just have to see. But so that's why we don't want to announce this just yet, because nothing is 100% confirmed. But yeah, I have to say that, if this is confirmed and if we announce this, then yeah, people would go really, really wild with this. Well, yeah, it'd be funny to sort of circle back around, and it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. People dreamed of it so much that it comes true in the end, just through the fervor surrounding it. Yeah, it's actually because of these rumors that led to this. So that's.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like, guys, here's the thing. Like, I don't need to hear anymore. Do you understand? Like, I don't need to hear anymore. I don't need to, people are connect. The dots are already connected. All right? The dots are already connected. I think people need to understand that. I get it's funny to me how quickly people forget how swiftly Konami was to deny, how swift they were to deny any rumors for years. For years. Konami has always come out and said, no. Nope. Okay? But now, when the rumors are reaching a level that we've never seen before, they're silent. Konami doesn't do anything. What's funny to me is a lot of people are being cynical about it. And I see like there's other creators, and like I've always said that I could be wrong. Okay? I've always said that I could be wrong. But I think something we can all agree on at this point is that something here isn't right. To the point where even if you were to look at the worst case scenario, you say, okay, the worst case scenario, this really is an indie dev, and things just escalated got out of control. Even if that's the case, we can all agree at this point that there's still fuel being dumped rapidly onto this fire. So let's look at the abandoned PS5 app. Did anybody notice that the app was updated for the first time? What did they add to this application? This game application. What did they add? Somebody in the chat tell me, because I know you already know. You already know. It's the picture. They added a new image and it's blurred. And what does it look like? I mean, come on. It's right in front of us. It's been right in front of us. People don't want to believe, and I understand. Yes, it is a Silent Hill room. It is a door. Some people are saying it's from Silent Hill 4. Some people are saying it's PT. To me, it looks like PT. I don't know. There's no, in my opinion, there's no mistaking it. I got one for you. You will take the L. Okay, Kapapa, you're saying, remember Death Stranding's DC teaser? Redis is in a blue outfit, and there is a box equals blue plus box. Dude, do you remember? Do you remember when we were streaming opening, what was it? It was on June, is that what it was called? Opening Night Live on June 10th with Jeff Keighley. This is where we got the first Death Stranding director's cut teaser, and it was Metal Gear. Do you guys remember that? Like, it was a Metal Gear themed Death Stranding trailer, and I freaked out. And I said, holy shit, this is like Metal Gear's coming back. I'm like, holy shit, Metal Gear's coming back. And people shit all over me. They're like, shut up, dude. You don't know what you're talking about. Kojima's letting us know he's done with Metal Gear. That's what he was trying to say. And I'm like, that makes no sense at all. We did not need Kojima, 5 years later after departing Konami, even though he already made it abundantly clear, and Konami made it abundantly clear that he's done with Metal Gear. Now, in June of 2021, when he's advertising his new Death Stranding director's cut, he feels the need to let everybody know, by the way, if you weren't sure, I'm done with Metal Gear. That's not what he was doing. And people are gonna shit themselves, dude. They're gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I thought he was saying goodbye to Metal Gear. I'm not saying Kojima's developing another Metal Gear, but you better believe something is happening with Metal Gear. I have a theory as to what I think is happening. You guys want to hear it? MBG face turning red, veins popping out of his neck. Because I know, man, I know. So check it out. Here's what I think. Well, first of all, when it comes to Blue Box, when it comes to the app, I'm telling you now, abandoned stands for abandoned IP. What beloved video game IP? I mean, I know there's a lot, but like which one, like if you were to ask or like do a poll to gamers, and it's like, what, if I say there's a video game series, sagas, IP that have been abandoned, what are the first ones that would come to your mind? I'll tell you what comes to mind for a lot of people. Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, Castlevania, basically any significant IP that Konami owns because it essentially has been abandoned. All right? That's why this is called Abandoned. Okay? Because it's not just talking about Silent Hill. It's talking about Silent Hill and Metal Gear. And who knows? Maybe it'll even be Castlevania at some point. Okay? My theory is that Kojima has given his blessing. He's passed the Metal Gear torch. He didn't give it to Konami with Metal Gear Survive. In fact, Kojima was disturbed by Metal Gear Survive, as was the entire fan base. Okay? Kojima didn't give that. He didn't pass the torch to Konami to say, go make a pachinko machine. Go make Metal Gear Solid 3 inside of the Fox engine and then make it exclusive to a pachinko machine. That's not what Kojima wanted. And he didn't do that. But I think in this case, Sony has struck a deal with Konami to obtain the Metal Gear IP, to do something with it. And whatever it is that Sony is doing with it, I think Kojima has given his nod of approval, and they are going to make it known through this marketing strategy that was set up by Kojima and his his employee at Kojima Productions that specifically hired to work on ARGs. I think they're going to make it known that he has played a part in this because he wants everybody to know that him and Metal Gear are on good terms, and that whoever is handling Metal Gear next, he's giving their blessing to. And you know who I think is handling Metal Gear next? I think it's obvious. I think Blue Point Games is handling Metal Gear. We've been so fixated. They're remaking Metal Gear Solid 1. They're remaking Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, or 4. There's going to be a compilation. And yes, that could very well be true, and that would be amazing. But I have a new theory. I'm not saying that I believe this for certain, but my God, it would be insane. I think, okay, I think that the reason why Kojima is giving his nod of approval is because what's being done to Metal Gear is going to be called Metal Gear Solid 6 from Blue Point Games, but it's going to be a remake. And do you know what it's going to be a remake of? The original Metal Gear. Boom. I'm telling you, that would be insane. No one would see that coming. No one would see that coming. A lot of people are like, well, how do you remake MGS1? And MGS1 was already remade for the Nintendo GameCube. And I'm like, dude, I'm not saying I think it's likely, but what would you call Metal Gear Solid 6? I think you could call a remake of the original MSX Metal Gear. I think you could call that Metal Gear Solid 6. And you could still technically count it as a remake. Because it, like, why don't you just call it Metal Gear? You could, but I feel like a lot of people don't know about the original Metal Gear. A lot of people are not familiar with that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And if you think about it, it would be the continuation. The reason why I think you could get away with calling it Metal Gear Solid 6, even though it's technically a remake, is because what comes after MGS5? That's what comes after MGS5. Kojima made it clear that MGS5 was supposed to bridge the gap between, what was it? Peace Walker and the original Metal Gear. Like that time and what happened. That's my theory, man. I could be dead wrong, but and as for the whole, like, well, people are probably asking, well, where does Silent Hill fit in with all of this? Dude, I'm fairly certain Silent Hill is real as well. And if Kojima is involved any more than that, like if Kojima is involved any more than just giving his nod of approval to whatever Sony's doing with Metal Gear, I think Kojima might be working. I really do think he might be working on Silent Hill. I really do. Like, it makes too much sense, dude. It makes too much sense. And this whole marketing strategy thing that's going on, you know, I think it's leading up to some fucking monumental announcements. I really do. I'm prepared to be wrong, but I have a feeling, man. I know people make fun of me because like, has MBG ever been right about anything? I don't know. I'm sure there are some things I've been right about. In fact, I know there are some things I've been right about, but there are things I've been wrong about as well. And I'm not trying to say this as like, hey, I know for a fact. I'm just saying I don't know, man. I know Kojima pretty well, and this has Kojima written all over it, man, from top to fucking bottom. It really does. And if it's not Kojima, then somebody basically, had a meeting with him and was like, "Can you construct a marketing ploy that we can use, and we could say that this marketing ploy was approved by Kojima." Also, I have to say, let me get to these super chats first. Truth Decay, you're saying, gotta be honest, bro. I kind of hope Kojima is done with Metal Gear. For me, Death Stranding was way more emotionally resonant and moving than any of his previous works. I sincerely hope he no longer has to be tied to the franchise. You know what, man? I actually think there are some people who feel that way. Obviously, you feel that way. There are others. I'm going to tell you right now that I think Kojima is done with Metal Gear to the extent where I don't think he's going to be directly directing another Metal Gear game. What I do think Kojima could do, though, is basically advise on a Metal Gear game. So, like, if Blue Point, if they were remaking any Metal Gear Solid from the ground up, or the original Metal Gear, I think that, they basically would be like, hey, Kojima, would you want to just kind of be involved, to the extent where you can advise us and give us some direction, not direction, but like, just some anything, any help at all, I think that Kojima could do that. MBG, I tagged you a Twitter link that supports your theory. See, what I find interesting, and I saw Yang Ye covering this, and he referenced a Russian leaker who said that he heard this was Metal Gear Solid 6, but then he was like, actually, I think it might be a Metal Gear Solid 1 remake. And I'm like, okay. What would, I don't know if this Russian leaker, I don't know if they're accurate or not. I don't know if they're credible. Anton or something. I think they got something with Horizon going to PC correct a while ago. So some people think that he's credible. What would cause somebody to be confused between, wait, Metal Gear Solid 6 or Metal Gear Solid 1 remake? Two vastly different things, right? Like, those are two completely different things. What would cause somebody to confuse the two? Oh, maybe it's a remake of the original Metal Gear 1, and it's going to be called Metal Gear Solid 6. I don't know. Just a thought I had, that's all. Primal Plasma, you're saying Blue Box, an electronic device used to access long-distance phone lines illegally. I think the abandoned app is Sony's answer to Game Pass cloud gaming. I don't think that's correct. Primal Plasma. I did not expect you to go in that direction. True Witty, you seem like you were onto something there. True Witty, you're saying MBG digging deep in the well of Kojima games. Yeah, dude, I had to break out my old Snake poster, man. It's getting real. Brandon Chad Perez, if you're wrong, we demand a hot tub stream. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that, but like, I don't know, man. Like, people, I find it fascinating that people actually think that we're sitting here with a game application on the PS5. It's being touted as a PS5 exclusive. It's being regularly updated by a team called Blue Box Game Studios that looks like they ripped off their logo from PlayStation Studios. Being led by a man whose initials are HK. And people still think, they're like, yep, this is just an indie dev trolling. I'm like, you know what? Here's what I'll say. If it is, then my God, it's the greatest troll I've ever experienced, because they've done something that I've just never seen achieved before in terms of trolling. If it really is a troll that leads to nothing. But, think about how we started this conversation, this entire podcast. We started this entire podcast talking about, well, what's Sony going to do for the remainder of 2021? Do they have any new game announcements? Does Sony have anything planned? We have a freaking application called the Real-Time Experience on our PS5s right now that is literally telling us you can experience upcoming game trailers and demonstrations in real time on your PS5. What do you think is coming next, people? Come on now. But you know what it is? The reason why this is allowed to be so, like, people still don't see it, and they think that people like me are delusional. The reason being is because Sony has not given this any attention whatsoever. Outside of the single blog post they gave in April, they have not touched this. And people actually think, well, Sony didn't touch it because they don't want to get involved and they don't respond to rumors. You got to be kidding me. You really think by this point Sony would not, or Konami, you really think that none of these entities would have intervened? Come on. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. I don't. If Sony, if Konami, if Blue Box Game Studios, if any of these entities are trying to convince me that this is not what I think it is, they have done a horrifically bad job in doing so. True Witty. Oh, wait, I read yours. Hold on. Let me. Okay, Ray, you're saying if anything updated PT to buy. Dude, yeah, I made a joke. I'm like, watch this. This is going to be PT remastered. It's going to be PT remastered. And people are going to be like, what? What? And then, what if? You ready? What if Sony, Konami, and Kojima decided that here's how we're going to announce the new Silent Hill? We're going to bring back PT as the way to let everybody know it's back on, people. It's back on. It's happening again. We're back. I mean, could you see that? People are like, Metal Gear, Silent Hill. Then it goes Silent Hill, Metal Gear. It's because it's more than Sony. Dude, why do people forget? Do you forget the reports in early 2020? Do you not remember that Sony was actively trying to purchase Konami's IP? Sony was negotiating with Konami. Sony was like, listen, how much do you want for Metal Gear? How much do you want for Silent Hill? How much do you want for Castlevania? And Konami's like, come on. You think Konami's going to be like, oh yeah, here, we'll sell you that? No, come on. Even Sony probably knew they're not going to sell their IP to us, but maybe we can strike a deal. Let's strike a partnership. It makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. Siler, you're saying trailers for the games have been abandoned. The thing that's driving me nuts is how long this is taking. The wait is becoming excruciating. It really is. But I have a feeling that come tomorrow and it's a new week, but it's a Sunday, starting tomorrow, I feel like things are going to start. I feel like things are going to start to rapidly heat up. I do. Checking to see some people keep saying that they're still sending me stuff on Twitter. I'm not seeing it for some reason. I don't know if it's like under my podcast, maybe mentions potentially. I get so excited about this because once this is revealed, like once we get the full scope and understanding of what this abandoned application is and what it leads to, dude, I don't know. Like I don't question anymore what this is. As in, like, I'm not. I know that there's a lot going on here, and I have a general idea. Like, this is, we're gonna get game trailers. They're gonna be real time trailers. This is Silent Hill. This is Metal Gear. I like. Trust me. Like, this shit is not blue. Like, look. Uh. See, people say they tag me on Twitter, and it's like, it's not showing, like, for some reason, it's not showing me that I'm being tagged. It's annoying the hell out of me. My recommendation, honestly, if anybody wants to send me anything, and you want me to check anything, go to my, one of the two, posts where MBG's brain is scrambling, yeah. Send it to me under any of the posts that I have with my podcast today on Twitter. Guys, hear me out. There was a rumor that Sony was looking to acquire 3 Konami IPs, so dedicating a special app towards that and the newly purchased studios would make sense. Why this has become such a big fuss. MGS equals Bluepoint. Silent Hill equals Kojima. Kojima overlooking both. Castlevania may also be there if the old rumor was right. This is why Abandon will have multiple trailers. I saw some people saying, like, what if this is because Sony actually acquired Konami? I don't think that's a thing. Do I think the Fox engine would be involved? I doubt that. Didn't Konami retire the Fox engine, unfortunately? I think that, I don't know, could Silent Hill be made in the Decima engine, maybe? I mean, that seems to be what Kojima is now familiar with, Kojima Productions. Have I been reached by Blue Box lately? No, I haven't. Yeah, so in general, guys, like, calming down here a little bit because it's easy to get worked up. I just think that, look, I get frustrated a little bit, just a little bit, when talking about this, only because there are so many people right now who don't believe that anything is happening. Everybody is so focused on, well, don't get your hopes up. Don't want to be disappointed. Everybody's so hyper fixated on making sure that they don't look stupid that they're missing everything. They're missing everything. They're missing the greatness that is happening in front of us right now. And when it's eventually revealed what's happening, they're going to look back and they're going to be like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, and you think my brain's going to be scrambled? Their brains are going to be scrambled. And I know that there are still some people that no matter what I say or do, it's not going to convince them. And I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not. Like, if you know, you know. But, oh man, it's going to be good. It's going to be good, man. That's all I'm saying. It's going to be good. I can't wait, dude. And I feel like we got it. The only thing that I feel like I'm being careful of right now is I am not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure that we're going to learn everything at one time, say come August 10th or August 12th. Like, I could see this being stretched out even further. And that's where I feel like something is going to, like, once the floodgate opens, it opens, is what I'm saying. For me, the floodgate already did open. But for a lot of people, It's like they can't see it yet. It's almost like it's like one of those optical illusion images. You know what I mean? How like you can show an image like that to like 100 people, and like at first maybe like 25 people get it and are like, I can see that for what it is. But for a while, the rest of the 75 other people who are looking at the image, they need to take more time. Like they just don't see it yet. They just don't see it. Give them a little bit of time, and then once maybe the the picture needs to be moved or turned a little bit, and then once they see it, you can't unsee it. You know what I mean? So. What I will tell you is that, if it's not obvious by now, my hype levels are dangerous territory. As in, like when we finally get what we've been waiting for, dude. I'm literally going to fall out of my chair. I'm gonna freak out, man. It's gonna be amazing. And I'm just so excited because this, like, I could not have asked for something better. And I know that talking like this right now, if it turns out like it's all fake, it's not real. I mean, look, I know that I'm gonna literally, we're gonna have to watch my own stream and cry and be like, I was so sure. But I'm very sure about this. I'm very confident, and I hope people remember me. I hope they do. When the shit hits the fan and the floodgates open, I hope people remember MBG was the guy, man, that was there. He made that stream where he was like, June 15th, Kojima, Silent Hill, not confirmed. ... yet. I hope people remember, man, because once this shit is open, everybody's all over it, and it's just it's gone, dude. It's gone. And I can't. They paid you in gold suitcases. MBG going crazy, dude. I'm not going crazy. I am anticipating, though. I feel like I'm getting a little bit anxious because maybe you're an insider. Dude, like, look, man. Sir Speaks a Lot saying, honestly, dude, all the coincidences and then the jokes and even Blue Box themselves are so out of whack that when this goes down, it'll be the LA riots. Wait for the documentary with MBG. Yeah, dude, it turns out that this was truly an indie dev, and this whole thing just crashed and burned. It would be documentary worthy, man. It would be documentary worthy. And I hope that, like, I can be part of that documentary. One of the things I was thinking to myself is assuming that this is like a marketing ploy and everything that's happening right now is like it's like some insane, elaborate, just ARG or something. My question is, how are they documenting it? Like, how are they gonna, like, what is the plan to basically show everyone, like, hey, look at all the stuff we did that you didn't realize, or that you didn't believe, or you did believe, whatever it may be. That's what I'm wondering, because I feel that something like that is going to have to happen. A video clip of all the YouTubers that, I was thinking, like, maybe they're going to release like a video of just like a timeline of like all the stuff, and people are just going to be like, yo, That would be crazy, man. Do I follow Alana Pierce? I don't. You actually reminded me, though. Dude, I put a tweet out that I'm sure many of you saw where I said nailed it, and it was a picture of Cory Barlog saying that he wants to work on Silent Hill. It was a picture of Cory Barlog and Alana Pierce, their Twitter accounts, me highlighting the 666 followers, and the fact that Sony Santa Monica is hiring for a new title that they haven't announced. And Pete, like I said, nailed it. Like, and it was a joke, and I didn't realize. Like, a lot of people took it seriously. I actually saw it pop up on the Reddit, and people were getting mad at me, dude. And I'm like, holy shit! Like, what? It's like, I hate it because it's like I feel like I shouldn't have to say it's a joke. I shouldn't have to, like, it's a joke, people. Like, it's meant to be funny, you know? Especially with the whole Cory Barlog, never heard of it. Watch it turn out to be right, though. Watch it turn out to be that it actually wasn't Kojima. It was Cory Barlog this whole time, you know? Deleted KD, you're saying, when it's true, you better gloat as much as you possibly can. Well, here's the thing, dude. Like, I feel that everybody on YouTube, you know, eventually everybody who does YouTube or anything like that, eventually they're not going to be doing it anymore. And I feel that every creator is remembered for something. You know, they're going to be remembered for that one thing. And if this is true, I would like it if when my time on YouTube is up eventually, whenever that day comes, that people remember me as this guy, as the blue box Kojima Metal Gear Silent Hill guy who like was standing here screaming the whole time like, this is it, and nobody believed him. But it turned out to be true. I also want to be the guy that people can share the excitement with, because that's the whole thing about this. I think people forget that. It's not about being right. I'm not doing all this because I want to be right about something. No, I'm doing all this because I'm excited, man. And if this is what we think it is, like, holy hell, I want to share that excitement with people, and I want people to share that excitement with me, you know? Sean, you're saying Kojima never really did that for the Metal Gear Solid 5 trick, so I don't know. I think he'll be behind the screen laughing. Yeah, that's the thing, dude. I feel like a lot of people kind of look at this and they're like, well, would Kojima go this far? I think absolutely he would. Kojima is literally known as the biggest industry troll. You know what I mean? Like, he's known for this. And people, I want you to think about this. The second that the first abandoned teaser trailer was released on YouTube, on PlayStation's YouTube, and the second that blog post was up, people were already like, this stinks of Kojima. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's of course he would go this far, because you can't give it up so easily, especially when people are expecting it. And honestly, if this is true, if this really is the return of Silent Hill made by Kojima and Metal Gear something, maybe by Blue Point, if this is true, then holy hell, you need to do something special for those announcements. And it doesn't get any crazier than this. As I said when we first started this topic, people will remember this for decades, dude. People will never forget this announcement. And you know what? People think, here's another angle that people are not considering. Everybody thinks that, no way, Konami would. Dude, whose reputation here has suffered the most? Okay? Chat, let me know. Whose reputation between Sony, Konami, and Kojima, whose reputation has suffered the most? Sean, you're saying, sorry, let me clarify. I don't think he would call out all the non-believers for the reveal. Yeah, that's true. I don't think they would call them out, but maybe just highlight those who did believe. Maybe. I don't know. Maxwell, you're saying MBG is actually working on Blue Box. Plot twist. Yeah, right. Austin, you're saying Google Sony's next event. I know nothing is confirmed, but I thought it was interesting what pops up. I'll check it out in a second, dude. Exactly. Konami has literally destroyed their reputation. If you're Konami, how do you get that back? How do you basically make the big Konami comeback? You think you just do it by casually announcing, we're making a new Silent Hill? Absolutely not. No. Their reputation was severely damaged. This is how you do it, man. This is how you do it. I'm saying that's an angle that people are not considering, where it's like, Konami, they, I mean, let's not forget, Konami said they were going to be at E3. They said they were going to be at E3. And then out of nowhere, they're like, actually, we're not. But we're going to have updates for you. Where are those Konami updates? I'm waiting. Konami, you said you had some... I got to find that tweet, exactly what they... Dude, I'm telling you now, man. Telling you now, people are not... A lot of people are not ready for what's about to go down. Some are ready. I'm ready. I know a lot of you guys are ready, but some people are literally going to be... They're going to have their... I don't know, their mind blown. Truly, they are. Let me Google. You say Google Sony's next event. All right, let me Google this. Sony's next event. For me, I got Tech Radar, July 9th. I also got Express.uk. Is there something I should be looking for, buddy? Because I'm not... All this stuff I already know about. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's really difficult not to focus on this so much because I've been trying not to, and I'm trying not to be that guy that's like stalking the subreddit every day, you know, but at the same time, it's like some pretty good memes are made. Here's an old post that somebody posted from Joachim Mogren in 2012 before MGS5 was announced. Joachim Mogren says, "All right, I'll just do a Twitter Q&A and go ahead, guys. The fact that your name is an anagram for Kojima is just a happy coincidence." Joachim Mogren says, "Joachim is a common Swedish name. I assure you it is a coincidence." Like, God, what the... Come on, man. With Phantom Pain, we had images first, and after the reveal, we got to see gameplay. Hold on. I want to hear this. You see, this is a video of Kojima.
As you've seen in the trailer and probably understand now, the Phantom Pain and Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes put together is Metal Gear Solid 5.
で、先ほどの映像はすべて、実機映像です。
The trailer itself is all run real time.
で、今日は北西エンジンのプレゼンテーションなので、先ほどの映像が動いていることをこれからお見せしたいと思います。
And since today our session is about the Fox engine, I'd like to show you a little something that's actually moving in the engine.
で、
It all sounds so familiar, doesn't it? It all sounds so familiar. When will we do a neck comparison? Oh, man. So, you know, I think the question I want to ask now is what happens next? What other type of updates are we going to get from the abandoned app? Because I'm like waiting for something to happen on that app where I'm going to stream from the app itself. iSalar is saying, let's not forget the Colonel and MGS2. Kojima is the art of deception. Yeah, dude, I honestly think that if this whole thing is, and I do believe it's done by Kojima, I think he's trying to one-up himself. I think he's trying to, you know, I think he's trying to make sure that this will be remembered as the craziest thing he's done. You know, he's older now. He, you know, he's been doing this for years. And I feel like, you know, anybody can put themselves in that mindset where it's like, if you're older and you feel like maybe you've peaked, what do you want to do? You want to prove to yourself, no. I still got it. And I think this is Kojima's way of proving he still has it. Because I think a lot of people thought that with with Death Stranding, because of the circumstances, Kojima didn't do anything secretive with Death Stranding. Like, it was all right in your face, and it didn't seem Kojima-esque because, you know, he ended on bad terms with Konami, and it was a very, you know, it was terrible what happened, obviously, but it worked out in the end. And it was like different because it's like, oh, so this is what a normal Kojima game reveal is like. And I feel like that's another reason probably why he definitely, now that he has his own established studio and he already has his game that he put out, I mean, come on, you're going to tell me he just wants to do another regular game reveal? No, dude, that's not what he wants to do. Absolutely not. He has security, you know, now more than ever. And I think with that security, here's something I think, and something else people I think haven't really considered. When he was Kojima Productions under Konami, he was probably limited in what he could do. He is an independent studio now. Like, Kojima Productions is independent. This man, Kojima, literally hired somebody who calls himself Father, okay, who works for Kojima Productions, who specializes in ARGs. Kojima is allowed to do this, is what I'm saying. The only question is Sony and Konami on board? I'm almost certain that Konami and Sony were probably like, I don't know, Mr. Kojima, don't you think this is taking it a little too far? And Kojima's like, do you want to have the greatest game reveal of all time, or don't you? And they're like, okay, Mr. Kojima, you got it. You know, like, I see it being just like that, where it's like, you know, I put out a response to one of Kojima's tweets, which was really funny, where I was like, it's the meme of the dude, they're in a boardroom and the guy just gets up abruptly from his chair, opens his window and jumps out the window. I'm like, that's the PR person at Kojima Productions or at Sony or whoever he's working with when he presents his next marketing idea. But let me, Shinkai, you're saying the biggest giveaway is Konami and Sony not coming out to debunk anything. Last time Konami took half a day to release a statement. Also, do you think gaming sites haven't asked for a statement? Dude, that's why I'm saying, like, it's so... I feel like I can't keep saying it. I can't keep just saying it's so obvious, because it's clear that to some people it's not going to be obvious until it escalates further. MGS5 clearly needs a director's cut. Big parts of the game were also abandoned. Man, that would be crazy. That would be a crazy announcement if Konami was like, director's cut. Okay, so really quick, I got to say here for a second. Talking about Blue Point Games and Metal Gear Solid, if Blue Point Games is remaking, you know, there were multiple rumors from different sources throughout the past year that Blue Point Games is apparently not just remaking MGS1. They're like remaking multiple games. Do you guys think if we were to get like a Metal Gear Solid remake compilation, like MGS 1 through 4, whether they were released together or if they were scattered releases, do you think that they would bring back Metal Gear Online? Like maybe MGS 4's Metal Gear Online or probably MGS 4. Because I'm pretty sure Metal Gear Online for MGS 5 is completely dead by this point, right? And I only say this because it's like, I don't know, man. The Metal Gear Online components were really, really good and really ahead of their time. And it would be, considering Sony has like a new focus on multiplayer, I could see them doing that. And I think that would be incredible. MGO was great, man. I've considered maybe trying to, yeah, you're talking about the MGO PC emulator. I've considered trying it, but it feels kind of wrong. You know what I mean? Because it feels like it's going to ruin my image of what I remember the game being. You know, like I'm seeing it in like rose-tinted glasses right now, and I feel like I'm going to ruin that for myself if I go back and I'm like, oh, you know, I'm so used to playing PS5 games, but Salar saying Metal Gear Rising 2 is rumored a long time ago, but then Konami happened, yet another potentially abandoned sequel. Well, here's a question I have for you guys. What do you think? Like, to me, one of the most fascinating thoughts and interesting thoughts is that if we do believe this, if we do believe that Konami is ready to make a big comeback, and that big comeback is coming in the form of a partnership with PlayStation, and Kojima is involved, even to the extent where Kojima is now making Silent Hill like he was supposed to do in 2014, I would absolutely love to know how in the hell, what did Sony do to convince Kojima and Konami to make up? Here's a question, and I would like it if you guys, I'll look it up myself in a minute here, but I'm curious if anybody knows off the top of their head. Let me know in the chat. Has their leadership changed recently? Like, did they get a new CEO anytime recently? Like in the past year and a half? Money. Yeah, I mean, money's the obvious answer, but I mean, don't get me wrong. Money talks, right? Money can go a long way. Like, I need to know definitively. I'm going to look it up in a minute, but I feel like the reason why I'm asking that is because that's another thing that I'm not sure about, because from what I remember with the whole Konami and Kojima falling out is you're saying there has been a change. Somebody saying no. I'm seeing a 50-50 thing here. The reason why I say this is because still the same family and friend circle in charge. Yeah, I mean, Konami Digital Entertainment is dissolving and restructuring its gaming division at the start of February 2021, but we were assured that this didn't mean anything. That's true. Yeah, people seem like they are guessing right now. I guess I have to wonder to myself that if this really is what we think it is and what we believe, something changed, like something convinced Kojima to be like I feel like PlayStation, I could see you know what I could see? I could see a negotiation happening between Sony and Konami, where Sony walks in and they're like, hey, we're PlayStation. We're on top of the world right now. We want to buy your IP. And Konami's like, our IP's not for sale. And they're like, okay, we totally understand. How about we strike a partnership? And Konami's like, well, what kind of partnership do you want? And I feel like it went down this way because Konami they clearly were stubborn as hell. Like, they're like, we're going to make Metal Gear Survive and it's going to be good. And it's like, what are you, morons? Like, are you serious? And they're like, oh, you guys don't want Metal Gear Survive? And it's like, no, we literally hate you. Like, there's literally a hashtag dedicated to you saying fuck Konami, And I feel like Sony basically walked in and they're like, look, you guys have some of the most valuable IP in the world, and you're doing, like, you've kind of ruined it. Like, I think Sony basically put Konami in their place where they're like, you guys pretty much suck. Like, you absolutely suck. Like, you're not doing anything with your gaming division. You can make millions and millions of dollars. And it's like, people hate you. Like, the gaming community hates you. Let's work together to make them love you again. And I think, I don't know, man. Like, if this is what happens, if this is how it goes down, Kojima, Konami, PlayStation, I need to know who did this, who amended this, who, rebuilt this burnt bridge, because that to me is, if there's anything here that makes me question whether this is real, it's that right there. Is, people will just say, it's just money, man. Like, money is what will do it. And I do agree, but Kojima, I think people forget what happened with Konami and Kojima. Like, that was not just about money. Like, that was definitely not just about money. That was about ego and reputation and honor and all this stuff. And it went deeper than just the financial aspect. And so that's why I'm sitting here thinking what happened behind the scenes if this is what we think it is to make this a reality. because that's insane. That's insane. It was probably Herman Holst. I bet you. That's why he was promoted. They're like, oh my God, this man mended the bridge between Kojima and Konami. Promote this man immediately. Space Devakin, you're saying their value of the IP on their pachinko industry is fading because there's no more games. Most likely all this deal is multi-platform, but PlayStation has the PR. That is something I do want to acknowledge. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Space Devakin, because something that, this is going to sound really strange because I know they follow me on Twitter as well, but something that people are not, what makes this so confusing is we have this application, and I want it to be known that this game Abandoned is not a real game. It is an application. That much has been made clear. This is what's PS5 exclusive. The application itself is exclusive. I don't know that the games are. For example, like if it is a new Silent Hill or Metal Gear, I say this because Blue Box Game Studios is following Xbox, and Xbox has apparently been trying to get things going with Kojima. Sir Speaks Loud, you're saying Konami died when they tried to sell save files on MGS. Oh my God. Yeah, don't remind me, dude. It's literally in their best interest to spread their IPs before their pachinko goes bye-bye. That's why I'm saying I think Sony basically walked in and were like, look, you guys, your back's against the wall. We can save you if you let us. And Konami's like, I don't think you can save me. Are you sure? And Sony's like, yes, but we need to bring Kojima back. And they're like, what? Kojima? No. Has it really come to this? And I'm telling you, that's literally how I visualize it in my head, where Konami's like literally huddled up in a corner, like scared, like it all fell apart. And Sony walks in like, we can make this work again. Just trust us. Because, dude, I couldn't imagine it any other way if this is how it actually turns out. But yeah, dude, I can't forget that. I did have to erase that from my memory. Selling save files. Oh, God. Andreas, unfortunately, I can't read your message, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. You did retract it, but thank you for that. Maxwell, you're saying, bro, the Herman promotion joke cracked me up. Yeah, dude, I bet you that's what happened. Sony was like, all right, Sean and Herman, you're going to have to fight it out right now. Whichever one of you can bring Kojima back to Konami and mend that bridge, that's who wins. Technically it was between Jim Ryan and Sean Layden, not Herman and Sean, but you get the idea. But yeah, listen, guys, as much as I want to keep talking about the Blue Box thing, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I have to move on and talk about, well, there's only one other topic I plan to talk about, and I'm not going to move on to it yet because I don't have much to say about it, unfortunately. It has to do with the whole SSD expansion thing. Dude, this is where I feel like I'm kind of in a different place right now when it comes to where these consoles are and whatnot. I'm in a different place because I see people arguing about well, Xbox has the better storage solution and Sony's solution sucks. And I'm just like, I don't care that much anymore, man. I'm so focused on other things right now that I don't know, man. It feels weird, I feel like I just can't get to that mindset where it's like, let me explain to you why, I'll just put it to you this way. Sony chose to do it differently than Xbox, and that's okay. I think we're all going to make it, okay? Yeah, Sony's solution is a little bit more, just a little bit more complex, but it's it's not that serious, people, all right? I don't know, dude. I feel like there's a portion of the gaming community where they're so fixated on, they're not fixated on enjoying gaming experiences. They're more fixated on bragging about whatever it is that they feel they have that others don't. And I understand that sounds ironic because it's well, that's coming from a PlayStation dude. Dude, my whole thing about Sony's exclusives is because they're tied to the console. Like Sony wants exclusives because they want to sell their console. And I've always appreciated that from the extent that, hey, it's business, you know, and it keeps them on their toes. They got to make high quality games. If you want to sell millions of units, it's like a win-win situation, you know? People always make it sound like, well, gatekeeping. Like, it's not about gatekeeping. Like, my God. And if you think that's what it's about, then you need to do some research. It's not about gatekeeping. Tribalism is in the human DNA. It is. Yes, it is. We are animals after all. So, Sean, you're saying there was a Forbes article saying Sadaki Kenyoshi, aka some dude appointed the Konami CEO back in February to bring focus back to console gaming. If that's true, dude, then that explains all of this. It really does, because I just, the reason why I was pretty sure like that something had to have changed in the leadership with Konami is that the person who was responsible for the outing of Kojima, you do not convince that person to work with Kojima again. The only way Kojima comes back to Konami is if that person's like either not in charge anymore or just not involved at all. And I don't know. It is business at the end of the day. You know, it was bad business what happened with, like, when you look back at that Konami situation, the cancellation of PT and them literally throwing Kojima out on his ass, you can tell that that was not a business. Like, that was bad business, dude. Like, that was, from a business standpoint, stupid as hell. And you could tell that there was some personal vendetta that, you know, it was personal. That's what I'm trying to say. It was personal. So that's why I feel like whoever had that issue probably, I don't know. I could be wrong, but saying one of Konami's Switch exclusives sold 3 million, that's the reason. That would make sense. All right, but yeah, listen, I'm going to end the Blue Box conversation here because we spent a lot of time talking about it, but it's mainly because I'm fairly certain we're going to have another Blue Box stream later this week. We're going to have to see what happens. I'm sure something will happen. And so I definitely want to do that. Right now, I do want to talk just a little bit longer because I don't have too much more. Like, I was going to talk about Sony selling 10 million units, but the truth is I don't think there's really much to say about that topic. You know, I've talked about it multiple times in videos. I think it's great. Like, I'm really happy to see that the PS5 is just doing incredible. But, you know, I really feel that it's just something people don't care too much about. To be completely honest, guys, I am absolutely starving right now. Like, my stomach is growling like crazy. And I'm like kind of sitting here thinking, like, I don't think I can go on. I may have to end this episode of the podcast because I'm that hungry. I meant to eat before I came on, but I didn't. And I'm like, oh, I'll be fine. And now I'm sitting here. I'm like, I'm literally getting like hunger pains. I'm that hungry. I've been working out a lot too. So I think that may have something to do with it. You know, you got to grab a snack. No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I feel like that's just wrong to eat on stream. Don't you dare choose your stomach over us. Well, it's not that I'm doing that, you know. I mean, we've been talking here for over 2 hours, and it's more like I'm just not sure what else to talk about, you know, because I feel like I've covered all the topics in my videos, mainly most of them. Dude, you must eat before you do a live. Yeah, it was a mistake, dude. Like, I totally forgot that once you start exercising like seriously again, like your appetite kind of shoots up a lot. And normally I'm not. Sounds like Solid Snake is holding a gun to your head. No, definitely not that. I don't know if you can hear my stomach growling. It's super loud. It's like, okay. Let me check something here though. Let's see. I'm just checking if anybody Maxwell, you're saying what Sony needs to buy from Software, Hi-Res Studio, Bungie, Platinum Games, Ember Lab, and Square Enix, and Capcom. They have the money. Do the research. They do have the money. They do have the money. People think that Sony doesn't have the money, but they do. It's just a matter of like, a lot of times it's not about whether or not they can buy it. It's just a matter of should you, from like a business standpoint. You know what I mean? It's all about critical, long-term thinking business decisions. And just because it's like you have the money to buy something and it may seem like a good idea right now, it might not be in the long term. You have to be able to map out the long-term repercussions and ramifications of such a massive purchase. iSiler18 again, thank you, buddy. You're saying my external HDD is enough. If I'm not playing a game for a couple weeks, I move it over. If it ends up being many months, I sometimes delete it. It all boils down to digital pack ratting. Yeah, dude. I mean, just talking a little bit more about the whole SSD situation, people think that like I'm damage controlling or something for Sony when I say, well, I just delete my games. I'm not worried about it. Like I'm not damage controlling. Like I think that Sony is offering a solution and I think it's fine. I think it's a little bit more complex than the plug and play solution, obviously. Requires just a little bit more effort than Microsoft's. But at the end of the day, it's like, if it really matters to you that much, having extra storage, like it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Like maybe you have to watch one tutorial video, you know what I mean? And you may have to just do a little bit of research to figure out which is the best SSD for you to buy. Like, are these things that people don't already do for literally everything? You know what I mean? I know that it's not as simple as plug and play, and I'm not defending anything because I don't care. Like, I don't plan to upgrade my storage. I don't need it. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I literally don't need it. And people are saying, well, you might need it. And you're right. In the future, I may need to buy an SSD expansion to store more games, but right now I don't. And if that day comes, then no problem. I'll just buy the SSD and put it in my PS5. Like, I'm confused as to what I should be freaking out about. Like, I saw somebody with a thumbnail, like I don't know, it was a YouTuber. I'm trying to remember who it was, but they like their thumbnail was like PS5's SSD is a joke or storage expansion is a joke or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's not that serious. Like, I see these clowns all over the place. Like, they try so fucking hard to be like, oh, I'm neutral. I'm not a fanboy. Like, yes, you fucking are. Just admit it. Stop hiding it. Embrace what you are. At least I can sit here and say, yes, I have a bias towards PlayStation, and you're going to see that shine through at times. I'm not hiding it. How could I hide it? It's right in front of your damn face. I prefer PlayStation. I think PlayStation is better. You know? I see this shit all the time, and it's so dumb. I'm getting hangry, in case you can't, like, now you're seeing it. Now you're seeing it. So he's like, dude, you got to go eat, man. You got to go eat. But in all seriousness, like, I see, who's that guy? Tom Warren or some shit? I'm going to put on Twitter, let me show you it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. But he's like, I'm going to show you the difference between how you install, like, it's like this screwdriver shit all over again with the PS5, where these fanboys were like, what's a screwdriver? Like, you gotta be shitting me, dude. You gotta be kidding me. You could probably tell in my past 2 or 3 streams, I have been a little bit more aggressive. It's because I've been hitting the weights, man, and the test is flowing, all right? But I'm just having fun, man. Like, you'll have my videos, and I'll try to be as professional as I can in my videos, but on my streams, especially streams where I'm getting hungry, it's going to come out, dude. I'm not trying to be on anybody's whitelist here, okay? I'm not trying to go out of my way to be on a blacklist, but I just cannot deal with the goddamn stupidity that I see in front of my face constantly. Like, everybody's like, all you do is shill for Sony. Like, I like PlayStation, okay? PlayStation, I'm just going to tell you right now, would have to do something pretty damn stupid to make me suddenly be like, you know what? Sony kind of sucks. And PlayStation 5 kind of sucks. Like, I play my console every day, and it's fun, and I have a good time. You know, like, you want me to freak out over an SSD? Look, speaking logically, yes, it's a little bit more complicated. Yes, Sony seemed, like they didn't really care too much as Microsoft did to make it as plug and play. And this is where I will give Microsoft credit. Like, good job, Microsoft. You did something right. You took your console and then you took the storage for your console and you made it as simple as plug and play. Congratulations. Like, you did it right. Sony, you didn't do it as simply, but I still think your solution's fine. Because you know what people are not considering is, does anybody take the second to look at the angle? These guys, right? These guys. It's all about options. I love the options Microsoft gives me. Xbox gives me all the options. But you know what? Sony absolutely sucks for giving their fan base options when it comes to the SSD. You can't make this shit up, people. Steven, you're saying Konami consolidated all 3 gaming divisions into one, so people may have been let go who didn't agree with Kojima's departure. That's an interesting theory. I could see that. Dude. Chris B, you're saying this is no more complex than the PS3 or PS2 HD upgrades. Are these people just new gamers? No, it's not that they're new gamers, man. It's because they just want to constantly and consistently shit on PlayStation fans and dunk on them. And they want to simultaneously do this while wearing a mask that says, I'm not a fanboy. You are. And not only that, you're toxic as shit. Like nobody wants it. Just stop. Like, I stopped shitting on Xbox a while ago because it gets old, man. It gets old. Like, let them do what they want. I don't care, okay? They're finally doing something good, in my opinion. And so, therefore, I don't feel the need to point out all of these things because they're doing most of their stuff relatively okay. I'm pretty sure Sony's still doing relatively okay with most of their stuff as well. They want to bitch about me about the director's cuts, about the SSD expansion, about the screwdriver, about everything. It's like, Miles Morales is just glorified DLC. Like, get the fuck out of here with that, man. I'm tired of hearing it. Every goddamn week, it's something new with them. And this is why I just shut the door and I'm like, I'm done. I'm like Denzel Washington, just shutting the door. I don't want to hear it anymore. All right? Go play Halo. Go play Forza. Go play Flight Simulator and enjoy it and just shut it. All right? And if you're going to talk about your platform, talk about the positives, talk about what you enjoy. Stop being critical of a platform you do not give a shit about. That's all I'm saying. London, you're saying so many swear words in like 30 seconds. Let the rant begin. Dude, I just can't do it anymore, man. Like, I can't not be this way at this point. I can't. Thank you, Bishop Motin's Pagoda. Thank you so much for that, man. It's the hunger. Yeah, it's the hunger rant, dude. See, this is why I don't eat before my streams, because you're gonna get on edge MBG, and these dudes, they make fun of me because I like Kojima. They make fun of me because I like Kojima, and they're like, oh, dude, it's going to be great when Kojima comes to Xbox. Look at this MBG clown. Oh, what's he going to do? You know what the fuck I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy an Xbox, and I'm going to play Kojima's game on the Xbox. That's what I'm going to do. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. Because I hate to break it to people, but I've always been a Kojima fan. I'm not a Kojima fan because, he's known to make PlayStation exclusives. No, that's not it at all. And you know what? It's pretty ironic because a lot of these dudes who literally dumped, and I'm talking dumped all over Death Stranding. It was everywhere. Suddenly, what's that? Kojima might be coming to my platform? Well, this is great. I can't wait. Sucks to be a Sony pony. Like, holy hell, man. This is why I don't pay attention to it anymore. It's so dumb. It makes me feel like I'm losing brain cells by even looking at it or listening to it. MBG, you just spit so many facts. I salute. Well, thank you, man. I have to be this way because it's like, I want to make professional, nice, tame videos, but I gotta let it out somewhere, man. And this is where it's gonna happen. Because if you think for a fucking second, I'm ready to take the L. I want it to be, I am ready to take the blue box Kojima L. I'll take it. I can live with that. That's fine. But if you think for a second that Sony's going to come out here and they're going to announce Silent Hill and they're going to announce Kojima's making it, if you think for a second I am not going to utterly destroy these people who ran with the Kojima Xbox thing, well, actually, I might not, because I might just be too excited about Kojima and Silent Hill. I might not care enough. But holy hell, man. Maxwell, you're saying, if Miles Morales is glorified DLC, are all games back in the day, were they just DLC because of the lengths? Mind blown. It's dumbass logic, man. There is no logic. It's again, like, at this point in time, I understand that Sony is not perfect. PlayStation is not a perfect platform. They are a business and they want your money. And so they will do things like, hey, we want $10 for Ghost of Tsushima. And you know what I say? I say, you know what? Would have preferred it to be free, but you know what? You make such good games. Ghost of Tsushima is so good. Here's my $10. Not going to cry about it. Not going to bitch about it. Instead, I'm going to give you that $10 and I'm going to enjoy my game. I know it's a crazy concept. It's a crazy concept. I don't need no subscription service. Okay? I don't need it. I don't want it. If I wanted it, I would go to Xbox. I'm not worried about getting games that are, you know, like 2-3 years away for free on my subscription service. I'm not worried about that. But Halo Infinite's great. Go enjoy Halo Infinite. I'm just tired of it, man. Like, just leave me the hell alone. Like, I don't care about your Xbox and your Xbox greatness. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate in your circle. I'm going to keep playing my PlayStation games because that's what I enjoy. That's all, man. That's all. You know, like, I'm not trying to fight with anybody is the point. I know it may not seem like that. I'm not trying to fight with anybody. I'm just simply trying to get away from the toxic bullshit because it's just went on for so long. Like, it was all fun when we were like sparring with our jabs and stuff, like PS5's weak, Xbox Series X more powerful, 12 T-flops, you know, power of the SSD, clown emoji, you know, and power of the cloud. I get it, but it's like, okay. Weren't you an Xbox fanboy in the past? I was! And that's why, you know, I can tell you that was some dumb ass shit, dude. That's what I'm trying to tell you. These people are, it's a joke. It's a joke, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I remember what it was like. I remember how these, dude, if you even, like, you know what I like about the PlayStation fan base? Okay, you know what I like about what we got here and just the majority of the PlayStation fan base is you can be critical without being ridiculous about it, dude. You know, like, I can sit here and I can say, hey, you know, Sony's solution to the SSD, it's a little bit more cumbersome, requires a little bit of extra work on the consumer's part, but you do get the benefit of options. So it's like you have to weigh your pros and cons. And it's like what these people expect is I got to come out here, I got to make a Twitter video being like, you know what? Xbox is so much better. Look at what they did. Xbox is the greatest and PlayStation absolutely sucks. It's a joke. And at this, like, I wouldn't be so upset. I'm not even upset. I wouldn't be so frustrated about it if these people would just at least preface what you're going to say by being like, okay, I'm a blind fanboy and I just need you to know that everything I say going forward, it's going to be under that. Okay. So at least we know. Okay. At least we know. People think that, oh, you're defending the whole Ghost of Tsushima director's cut because you'll defend anything Sony does. Wrong. I will not defend anything Sony does. Why do you think the first part of this podcast was me letting you know Sony has to do something between now and the end of the year? If Horizon gets delayed, they have to do something. You know what that's called? That's called being critical. Yes, it's something we can do here. But people, they come to you and they're like, well, you better freak out about MLB The Show going to Game Pass. No, that's okay. I'm not going to freak out about that. Well, you better freak out about the SSD and you have to do 2 extra steps to make it work. No, I'm not going to freak out about that either. Well, you better freak out about Flight Simulator and Halo Infinite and like, I'm not going to freak out. Okay? You know what I'm going to freak out on? I'm going to freak out on all these dipshits who just, this is all they know what to say. It's all they know. You got to just drop it, man. You got to just drop it. God damn. Dude, if anybody had, like, people are never going to reach out to me and be like, hey, MBG, you want to do a podcast? Because I'm going to be like that guy that's like, woo, you know? Be like Ric Flair up in here. People, I'm not doing a podcast with that dude. Don't engage in the negativity. You know what? I think I've been doing a really good job not engaging in negativity, but there comes a point in time where I see so much, I can only take in so much, I gotta expel it all. And this is where it gets expelled, you know? Will I do a hot tub stream? Hell no. Hell no, man. Hulk Hogan, Macho Man. Let me tell you something. In all seriousness, though, I'm just trying to have some fun. Like I don't actually get this mad when I see this stuff. It's just, this is a fun little cathartic place we have here where you guys like the rants. You say you like it. You know, I got a whole mug dedicated to it. So I let it go here. I let the shit fly because it's all in the name of fun. It's not that serious. Like, the whole SSD thing, man. Look, I get it. If I was talking to somebody and you're like, dude, this PS5 SSD thing, it seems like a pain in the ass. I'd be like, yeah, dude, I totally get it because it's really not that simple. Like, it's not plug and play, and I get it. You buy a console, you want plug and play. But then if somebody else comes to me and you're like, dude, I don't think it's that serious at all, man. Like, it's just a couple steps, you know? That's all it is. Plus, you get options. I understand that too. Like, dude, you're right. There is a silver lining here. You get to choose your own SSD. You just got to make sure you know what you're doing. That's like, that's all it is. All right. That's all it is. Maxwell, you're saying I actually am a big gamer, but my platform is PlayStation. I'm thinking of starting a YouTube career, and I would love to be on your podcast to start. We'll see, Maxwell. We'll see. I don't know if you've noticed, and I'm sure many people know this, I am kind of a lone wolf here. Do a podcast with Angry Joe. Dude, Angry Joe, yeah, he loses it too a lot, doesn't he? I mean, he's called Angry Joe. I'm going to rename my channel to Angry MBG. Angry MGB, there we go. Angry, no, I was going to say MBB, but, blue box, but muscle blue box, that doesn't make sense. ABG, Angry Bound Gamer. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, Tyson Webb, you're saying, what's your favorite meal Mrs. MBG cooks? There's a lot, man. She makes great tacos. I love the tacos. Some brown sugar. It's a brown sugar chicken dish. It's really good. There's a lot. Darkland, man, I'm making myself hungry. Why are you so buff? Dude, I've been taking creatine lately. So if I look a little bit, bigger, I've been lifting a lot, but I've been taking some creatine as well. So that's probably what's doing it. Darkland 2020 or 22, you're saying BB's next game in FPS, MGS been third person, right? Well, keep in mind that in Metal Gear Solid, you can go in first person when you are when you're, you know, when you want to be more pinpoint accurate when you're firing your weapons. Maxwell, you're saying I already read that. Sorry, man. I read these out of order. But yeah, dude, let the rage of Sparta fuel your blades. Yeah, dude, like I'm sure you guys notice this. I fluctuate sometimes on my channel here. It almost seems like it is like a Jekyll and Hyde thing where like there are times where I feel like I want to be calm, cool, collected, and totally professional. But then I'm like, I can be that way a lot of times when I have to be. But then there are other times where it's like, I can't be that way all the time because that's not like, there are things that I have my opinions on, man. And I gotta for those who are willing to listen, I gotta let you know what I think. And that's why I feel like this podcast is the perfect spot to do that. And, you know, some occasional streams as well. And I'm just glad you guys enjoy it because, dude, I've been saying it for like over a year now, but I think the podcast is like one of the greatest things I ever did on my channel because it's so damn cathartic, you know? And I feel like that's kind of why I don't want anybody on, because this is almost like therapy time with MBG, you know? Like, I feel like if I were to bring a guest on, it's like, listen, I can't talk. I can't hear what you're saying right now because I gotta let this out, you know? I gotta just vent right now. Sir Speaks Out, you're saying MBG still won't let me nuke him in Dead by Daylight, so you won't join his podcast for a while. I can guess that MBG is a Doc main as well. So actually I'm not. When I play, I've been playing actually as a Nemesis for a little while now, but believe it or not, and I'm not making this up, dude, Pyramid Head is my main in Dead by Daylight. By the way, hit that like button, guys. I think we could get to 700 likes. Hit the like button for the rant. All right, that's what I'll ask. If you enjoy the rants and that's what you tune in for, hit that like button. Let me know. But so, Matthew, you're saying you make a quality product, and I appreciate you, man. Keep it up. Well, thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that. You know, I don't have anything personal with anybody online or anything like that. You know, there's a lot of other content creators, and I think everybody's just doing their own thing. And you know, I'm very much a believer in like, do your own thing if it's not like directly damaging somebody. You know, do your own thing. You know, and that's what I like to do here, and I encourage everybody to do that. And you know, people have their opinions on me. I have my opinions on them. And at the end of the day, the truth is right now, guys, like I am hoping, my great hope is that around the corner from us, I feel like I've been saying this. Like I know people get upset because they're like, dude, you said there's going to be an event in June, and then you said there's going to be an event in July and September. Like, look, don't shoot the messenger, people, okay? I don't know what Sony's plans really are. But what I'm hoping for is that at this point in time, with this abandoned app, with all this weird stuff that's going down, I really hope that something is around the corner. And I am ready, man. Like, I'm ready to just allow the hype and excitement and the passion that I have for games to just take over the channel, man. I'm ready for it. You know, I'm tired of the comparisons. I'm tired of this. You know, I don't mind it sometimes. You know, we talked a little bit yesterday in my video about how a developer compared the GPU inside the PS5 and the Series X. And I appreciate what that developer was saying, because he's basically just saying what we've all been saying, which is there really is no difference. You're not going to see a difference. It's like, it's nice. It's nice. It's true. I don't cook. I do not cook. Keep it real, MBG. MBG, keeping it real, MBG is the best MBG. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. But you know, I do feel inspired by other content creators that, you know, they do keep it professional and they don't really get like this. And I'm like, you know, I do have an appreciation for that, because there is something to be said for, you know, hold on. Wait, what is this? Alana Pierce just posted a video on YouTube that she's taking a break for 2 to 3 weeks from YouTube because she's in a secret location with poor internet. That seems a little sus, doesn't it? Is this true? I'll have to watch this because I don't know. I don't think that's, no, I think, guys, I don't think that's why. Yeah, I think she's just stuck in Australia, dude. And yeah. Which sucks. I'm looking at some of the comments and it just looks like basically just some stressful stuff is happening. So I wouldn't, you know. Dude, Lead in Gaming, do you want to get banned, bro? Like, what are you doing stepping up in here like that? I will have Sir Speaks a Lot nuke you to oblivion, okay? Does he shake his own creatine shakes? That's cooking, right? Yeah, I guess we could nuke now. That's fine. I'll give you a 30-second nuke period. 30-second nuke period because why not? You've been waiting long enough. Sir Speaks a Lot. Maybe 30 is 30 seconds too long? Somebody I need to know how long the nuke period should be. I can't. I don't know. That's way too long. Okay, my bad. I don't really moderate my chat too often, so I'm not sure. All right, let's maybe make it like 5 to 10 seconds. 5 to 10 seconds. Maybe 10, I think 10 seconds. All right, that means stop now, Sir Speaks a Lot. That means stop now. 2 minutes. Gee, I don't know, man. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the ending rant there. I got my second wind. But all in all, like, we just have to bring it back. There'll be no one left in the chat. We have to bring it back to what it's all about. And it sounds cheesy, but it's just the truth. And that is like, look, life's hard. You know, it's a thing that everybody's going through and trying to figure out. And so, you know, we have these things called video games, which can be great. They can be great and they can bring a lot of joy and whatnot. And so, you know, my focus, although I can't promise anything, but my focus going into August, I feel like I had to have this insane rant at the end here because I had to cleanse myself of this. Because going into August, I want to focus on hopefully some big stuff that's going to happen soon and be excited for that. And KC, you're saying, did Hassan tell you the same thing that he told Delaney? What did he tell him? But I don't know for sure that anything big's going to happen in August, but I just have a good feeling about it. And I know I have good feelings all the time and they turn out to be wrong, but hopefully I'm right this time. And so I'm definitely going to be paying attention to the abandoned PS5 app. I'm going to be paying attention to what Sony plans to say throughout the month of August, because I noticed that the past week, Sony's been a little bit more vocal. They've been a little bit more vocal, and I feel like their communication is starting to kind of like ramp up just a little bit again. And so my focus is not necessarily on, you know, the BS that a lot of people are focused on right now. Although a lot of people might look at the whole blue box situation and be like, well, that's BS. And it's like, well, maybe, but it's exciting. You know, it doesn't seem toxic to me. And so, well, thank you for that, man. Say enjoy my podcast. I'm a fun YouTuber. Appreciate that. Yeah, that, you know, I looked at my and this is the last thing I'll say before I end this podcast because this is turning out to be long and I'm still starving. I was looking at my podcast, not the podcast, but the stream we did on Wednesday, and it was another Blue Box stream about the Metal Gear thing, and you know, that really brings a smile to my face because I like that. To me is like peak YouTube and like my channel, because that is what I want. I want it to be exciting. I want it to be fun. I want it to be about having a good time and keeping it centered around the things that we like really care about. And so, yeah, I look forward to hopefully doing that more so throughout the year and going forward. And I also just wanted to, make note that stream got a ton of support, man. Like a ton of support. And it's just nice, because I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit afraid. I'm like, I don't want to make people upset or angry. It's not that I know I shouldn't care what people think, but it's like, I don't want to do something that if the overall reaction is going to be negative. And what was great is that it was the opposite of that. People were actually happy that I was doing it and they were enjoying it and they were letting me know how much they appreciate it. I'm like, you know what? This is nice. Like, this is nice. Like, we can keep doing this. How's my son doing? He's doing really good. He's growing, very strong, getting big, very smart. So thank you for asking, man. Definitely come a long way this year. So yeah, with that being said, I think we can end episode 70 of Press X Podcast. Oh, one last thing I want to ask you guys, because I only mentioned this at the beginning of the podcast and there wasn't a whole lot of people here. So I want to ask the chat, what do you think of the new camera? What are your thoughts on it? Because I was hoping to get some feedback. Putting the lighting aside, I think the lighting looks okay, but because this is like a pretty big upgrade. And I'm maybe even considering with this camera trying to maybe go on camera a little bit more. Maybe for like some videos and whatnot. A lot of you guys saying it's good. All right, I'm good. I'm glad. I mean, I'm happy that it turned out good. Asika, Akika, I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, but you say hi. I have to say bye, unfortunately, because that is the end of this podcast, guys. Episode 70. We didn't really talk about the PS5 sales, and we didn't talk too much about Sony's communication. Well, I guess we kind of did. But yeah, I don't think we need to talk about the sales because we already know. PS5 selling like crazy. It's going to continue to sell like crazy. PS5 is doing well. That's all we need to know. All right, guys. I want to give one more shout out to my members. We have 3 new members during the course of this stream. So thank you, guys. Big shout out to all my members who have continued to support me. Big shout out to everybody who donated super chats. As I said, something like getting this new camera and upgrading the quality of the stream, that's thanks to the direct support. Goes a long way, enables me to continue to do what I do here. And just a big thank you to everybody who watches the stream, watches my videos, interacts with it. I really do appreciate it. I feel like I can't say it enough. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it is appreciated. So one last time, guys, on your way out, please hit that like button. And if you feel so inclined, share the stream out. Feel free to come back, leave a comment as well. That helps the algorithm and it helps, kind of get the podcast out there. But yeah, that's episode 70 in the books. So, I think that the next stream is going to be, I can't give an exact date. We're going to likely do another stream over the course of this week. I want to shoot for Wednesday, but again, it's highly dependent on what may or may not happen. But for sure, we will be back here on Sunday the 8th with episode 71 of Press X Podcast, and I'm hoping that we have some interesting things we can discuss. But that does it, guys. Until next time, as I always say, take care. I'll catch you guys later.